Why, can you tell me why? Why, can you tell me why? Why, can you tell me why? Why you hate me and my people, what we do to do? All we gave to your people was a servitude. Why, can you tell me why? 40 acres and a mule, that's what they said we do. We put this country on our back, how could it be so cruel? 40 acres and a mule, that's what they said we do. Pursue the happiness and things they call American dreams. But why it seems like American schemes? 40 decades later and still none of them things. They still vote to call us human. I'm bigger than a thing. Used to have us on the block and they was selling us off. Then that was outlawed, so they became the law. Now we still on the block, but instead of selling us off, they rather round us up so they can kill us all. Why you hate me in the world that my people built? How we savage in the world when we showed you how to live. It was slaves' breast milk that they used to feed their kids. But today we gotta fight in court just to see our kids. Little shack in the back where they gave us to live. Now they buying up the city where the people supposed to live. Is it gentrification or depopulation? My people been a slum for too long, it's time to wake up. Why, can you tell me why? Why you hate me and my people, what we do to do? All we gave to your people was a servitude. Why, can you tell me why? 40 acres and a mule, that's what they said we do. We put this country on our back, how could it be so cruel? As a kid, young Tut ruled with all power. Solomon owned his mines, that was diamond power. Mansa Musa was the richest king in world history. But they teach us we were slaves and call it black history. Egypt only gets a mention cause it failed to conquer. The Romans went and stole the history but called us monsters. Shot the nose off the Sphinx cause they felt imposter. Our black face on the line was a show of power. How they claim to be the ones who supposed to be in power when everything they got was already ours. We the gods amongst men like Anubis, Osiris. Animal faces on a black man's body. Why you think they love the haters? Cause they know we got bodies. Why you think they women love us? Cause we got the God bodies. So they make us hate each other and afraid of the camaraderie. And anyone who tries to lead, they gon' body. Why, can you tell me why? Why you hate me and my people, what we do to do? All we gave to your people was a servitude. Why, can you tell me why? 40 acres and a mule, that's what they said we do. We put this country on our back, how could it be? I just want my people to be great. Even dead or in jail, that shouldn't be my son's fate. And even worse, I got daughters. Man, I'm trying to be supportive, but they garnish my wage, make me a slave, and it's court order. This another way to lock us down in cages. Babies running wild, man, who gon' raise them? Damn, it's still a part of their bigger plan. I try to tell my baby mother, but she can't understand. She say it's easier to get it from the white man, plumb dumb. You playing right into their white hands. Ain't no true at the house if you ain't got a man. So when they call for martial law, they can come and take it all. And if it's just you and your kids, how you gonna make a stand? Damn, it's all just a part of their plan. Why? Damn, part of their plans. Tell me why. Why, can you tell me why? Why you hate me and my people, what we do to do? All we gave to your people was a servitude. Why, can you tell me why? 40 acres and a mule, that's what they said we do. We put this country on our back, how could it be so cruel?
Stay awake, don't you fall asleep. Never fall for a fallacy. Stay awake, don't you fall asleep.
Back in my shit, back in my bag. Never backpedaling, put my back to the past. My mind is a canvas, let my words be attacked. For a while I was silent, so now for attack. Phil came back up like advice from a parent. My pen bleeds on pads cause my goal is apparent. I hear all these chumps, they just mimic like parrots. Yo, I see an Eiffel, not talking about Paris. Snakes in the grass, harder seem slither. Mad 'cause they bitter, wanna see a quitter. Jealous of a nigga, rather see you with her. Whether I'm storming or brain full of drought, I knew I was something and ethered my doubts.
Never fall for a fallacy. Stay awake, don't you fall asleep. Never fall for a fallacy. Stay awake, don't you fall asleep.
I can't stop, I won't fail. It's heaven for a G. You're living in hell, we don't matter now. It's like oh well. Some say that time shows you answers. Well, I let my cry show me answers. Some say that time shows you answers. Well, I let my cry show me answers. I let my cry show me answers. Answers, oh answers, we all search for answers. Challenge yourself and you will get one answer. Life owes you nothing, the strong will survive. Where's joy in life if you don't feel alive? My mind is a gun, thoughts are the bullets. My voice is the trigger, don't tell me what to do with it. I know what to do with it, I'ma play cool with it. Then act a fool with it, end up blue. Life is what you make it, so I make the most of it. My beef is with complacent, so I keep it rolling, bitch. I used to search for answers in the clouds, but now I don't. I done found a cure for all my wounds, I'm antidote.
Never fall for a fallacy. Stay awake, don't you fall asleep. Never fall for a fallacy. Stay awake, don't you fall asleep.
I can't stop, I won't fail. It's heaven for a G. You're living in hell, we don't matter now. It's like oh well. Some say that time shows you answers. Well, I let my cry show me answers. Some say that time shows you answers. Well, I let my cry show me answers. I let my cry show me answers.
I remember late nights eating rice, listening to Travo. Prisoner's perspective, that's the type of shit that I know. Brothers and my cousins spit down, you know how that go. Never prison, but I sat in jail before, that's how this shit go. I understood it's part of the game, right from the get-go. But I knew I'd get paid in the game, like I passed go. If money ain't your aim, what you shooting for? Shit, I sold the candy, kept the change back in 94. I've been a hustler for as long as I've been a ball. I'm 32, I need a meal by 34. And 2 years later, I need at least 40 more. I ain't talking shit, no, this ain't no toilet water. I'm just here to bring real back, restore the order. I'm just trying to win fall back, spoil my daughters, and show them what it means to be their biggest supporter. I do this shit for my real niggas like Richard Porter. My stand-up niggas, not you weird rat supporters. You fucking up the culture, that ain't what real is. They need a night out, spike they drink with the law is. I'm here to call the real shit, I ain't with the fraud shit. Lay it like a bad bitch, I'll show you what the law is. Nigga talking boss shit, I'll show you how boss is. It's about the wealth shit I can leave for my kids. A couple cribs, some properties, a couple businesses. And plus I gotta have it and it's called dispense. I gotta have it, need cheese like the government. Niggas losing money, keep waiting on the government. Shit, I go and get it, bigger cake like an Edmonds. I let a ball wear proud like a Letterman's. All my niggas real niggas, couldn't ask for better men. All we do is build each other, make each other better men. So about them, I hit your block and Benjamin. We hopping out, K swinging like the pendulum. I'm Mike Epps, nigga, all about the Benjamins. I'm on my horse, Kentucky Derby like Lexington. He always on go, yup, I'm chasing checks again. Moving underground, dipping, dodging like a Mexican. Blowing on the pound, eyes chinky like my Asian friends. Got you niggas frowning like, damn, this nigga spitting shit. Had thoughts of ending it, but fuck a dog, I'm bending shit. Harder than the stealer, and I bust you like I'm Bettis, bitch. Tell you niggas catch up, dog, I'm on this fella shit. I'm on some other shit, I should run for president. It can't be that hard if Agent Orange can do the shit. I'm here to shake up the beast, they call me ludicrous. I ain't new to this, nah, dog, been moving shit. I can't quit, nah, dog, I'm too legit. Next great MC, I'm on my hammer shit. Hammers coming, MPs, red beams, and ladder clips. Moving like a savage for cabbage, I ain't your average. My legacy is already written, I give you narratives. The writing's all on the wall, but nigga, hear this shit.
Oh, word? Yeah. Oh, word? Yeah. Make it bounce. Love the way she break it down. Smoking loud, blow a cloud, Henny in me. Money in my pocket, great this weekend. I can feel my face. Woke up feeling good today. You single, damn, I can't relate. I don't know your name, we just met last night. You can cut the rain, we both live a fast life. If we share some pain, don't expect me to remember. He gon' treat you good, but I'ma do you better. If you wanna leave, then say la vie. The K.I.D. got big eye drinks. Still I be like B.I.C. If you finna fuck with me, wanna see I.D. Dead that cutie, that's for the booty. Balenciagas, bad and bougie heels, making you look 5'9". Coochie bag, all used to rock Prada. Gotta be real when I hit. Smash. I don't need words, I need lip. Throat. Puffin' on wax, I feel lit. High. I am so high like a blip. Float. How do you want it? How do you need it? I'm built for the moment when it gets heated. Know that you feed it. Started with cheese it, I cannot fail. Catch you like I'm Odell. Heavy get wetter than whales. This who I be, I cannot be no one else. Never get bitter like L. Fun times in the sunshine. Spring breaks in the night. Dumb lies get you on top. Let me hush up and get right. Make it bounce. Love the way she break it down. Smoking loud, blow a cloud, Henny in me. Money in my pocket, great this weekend. I can feel my face. Woke up feeling good today. You single, damn, I can't relate. I don't know your name, we just met last night. You can cut the rain, we both live a fast life. If we share some pain, don't expect me to remember. He gon' treat you good, but I'ma do you better. Bounce for me. Can you make it bounce for me? Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Can you make it bounce for me? Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Down, make it bounce for me. Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Bounce for me. Down, make it bounce for me. Bounce for me. Yeah. Last night was lit.
Construct a car.
This goes out to you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. This goes out to you and you. This goes out to you. This goes out to. Hello world. Yeah, I've been there before. On the edge of the ledge. Eyes focused on floor. Grown a lot since then. Lost love and found more. Try to be a better me. Quit smoking Newports. Lost jobs. Had to scramble and find look, pay rent. Chick that I fucked last week. Called and said she pregnant. I'm not ready for kids. I felt less of a man. But you died, I can't lie. I felt nothing inside. Relationships have been shit. I'm quick to cut ties to the point that I'm numb. I don't even say bye. Don't even look in my eyes. You be wasting your time. I won't let you see shit. How to let you
If it wasn't for vibes, I'd be a piece of shit. Or maybe worse, laid in the dirt. For what it's worth, I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped in my thoughts.
The sky is the limit, always heard that. Found myself when I learned that.
I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped in
There's a
my
war going on outside, no man is safe from. I'm just trying to cook some art without an apron. And if you hear me, just know that I'm endearing. Fucked over so many times in my life and been forsaken. Humble since I was younger, when it can feed my hunger. Blessed to still be healthy, got cancer and family history. Kitty, I fucking miss you, that accident still hits me. Mama, you in my dreams, damn it, I know you with me. The angels took you from me, hated them, I was greedy. Needed when I was nothing, realized that I was sleeping. I never doubt myself, never give myself a reason. Everybody has a purpose, let it live while you keep breathing. And that's the truth that I keep speaking. Don't eat these words as if I'm preaching. This is my life that I am leaking. It's just a bit of what I keep in.
If it wasn't for vibes, I'd be a piece of shit. Or maybe worse, laid in the dirt. For what it's worth, I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped in my thoughts.
The sky is the limit, always heard that. Found myself when I learned that.
I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped and felt lost.
I was just trapped and feel wedding ring. Call me, you should know that I do love you too. You've been by my side, yes, through and through. Body growing up, always been beautiful. If a boy breaks her heart, then I'ma kill the dude. At first I wrote the song without my life attached. Always keep it 100, ain't no going back. The pressure is a bitch, used to hold me back. Now I keep on fighting cause I owe me that.
If it wasn't for vibes, I'd be a piece of shit. Or maybe worse, laid in the dirt. For what it's worth, I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped in my thoughts.
The sky is the limit, always heard that. Found myself when I learned that.
I see now still so much to be proud of. On the real, I was just trapped and felt lost.
Vibe with me, rock with me. Who, what, when, all that I hear are questions. It's about who you know, not what you show. That's just foul, but how it goes. Others a week up on the road. One of a kind, you're in the dope. Fire inside, the flow is cold. Yo, this for the soul. Stress in my mind, that's nothing new. I am the time, tick-tock, I'm glued up. Optimus Prime, designed to move. Cheers of applause at Bonnaroo. Feeling the vibe, the show improve. Full of that private G to use. If you're going through hell, keep pushing through. I done tried a 9 to 5 multi times. Daily grinds, make my mind a battle. Shine my passion screens, I will not die. Through the days, through the nights. I done ride with bloody eyes. Yes, you can if you decide. All I asked was who am I? In this life, you gotta take risks. If it don't earn out, they didn't do shit. Get off your ass and use a wig. You're now the man amongst these kids. It'll be alright, 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 alright. It'll be alright, 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 alright. It'll be alright, 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 alright. It'll be alright, 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 alright. If you fall, don't think that you fail all the time. If you fall, don't think that you fail all the time. It's priceless. What life is, don't be blind to an everyday crisis. This on God, I swear I'm the nicest. So many frauds in the land of the mindless. Are you what you claim?
Need up the Giants.
Oh gosh.
Can't help yourself. Really can't. What's good? What's good? How is everyone doing? Welcome to a special edition of Whack Ass Giants versus Jets.
Big Blue all day.
Huh? What happened?
Big Blue all day.
I thought I muted your mic. I didn't do it.
No,
Give me a second.
is this thing on?
Well, why you doing that? Turn the camera a little bit, get a little more G in there, man.
No more. I'll turn it in a second.
Oh,
What's good, y'all?
See how you try to play me though?
See, we have.
That's because you got that ugly jersey on. That's what it is.
I'm saying we both big boys. You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to a special edition of Giants versus Jets. I am one of your hosts, Truth, with my other host, G in the corner. We got some special guests. So while those guys introduce themselves, I have to adjust the camera so I don't get jumped in this motherfucker.
Word. I'm leading off. You following up, right, Steve? Yeah. All right, get it right before we get mad. Y'all, I'm Troy. I'm back. You know, I'm the punk from the other day. Instead of making picks, I'm just talking about fit. Next to me is my man. Known him for 35 years, about that. Yeah, man, something like that. And what we do is we talk football, and we talk football as deep as we could get into football. So, hey, Steve, won't you let them know your little history about football and your journey?
You can pull up a seat like I did last time.
Steve Wimberly, creator of the Total Player Value System that you'll be seeing coming up in July. Be for some of your fantasy football needs, so look out for that. Been following football since 1987. Met this man playing on the football field. Became friends, brothers for life. Always had a passion for the game, how the the structure of it, the scheme, the brain power it takes to actually run a team and go through a game. I've coached on various levels, little league, semi-pro, a little bit of Division III college football. So I had a nice journey, man. I love this. I love what I do, and this is one of my passions.
Nice.
Okay,
All right, no
okay.
dead air, Truth. What you doing over
Thank
there?
you.
Uh-huh.
Coming through. So what got you into like this whole being the wizard? Not Wizard of Oz, but Wizard of Sports.
I don't know. You call me a wizard. I think I look at it from a practical standpoint instead of just emotionally.
Okay.
Like, as a fan, sometimes even when you watch a team, you think, oh man, you don't actually look at it from a sensible point of view because you just want to see them win. But then certain things happen, and then you just take a step back and you start looking at even your team from a practical point of view, and then you start looking at the whole league that way, and you start looking at sports in general that way, and then it helps you kind of enjoy it in a different manner than you did before, just emotionally. You
Okay.
start seeing things from a different lens.
Now
Right.
you go as far as back to like watching like Division III.
Yeah.
And still find the joy in it.
I watched Deion's first 3 games, Jackson State.
Now, how did they do? I know they lost the first one. I know about the other one.
No, they actually won the
First 3,
They
right?
won the first 3.
Yeah.
Somebody said
And
he
they-
lost his first one.
He won his first 3.
Okay.
And then he went on a little bit of a losing streak.
Okay.
And really what it was, I mean, you got a new scheme, brand new coach coming in there. He's really there to bring awareness to the SWAC and the HBCUs, and that's what you really want. But it's a new coach, new scheme, a whole lot of new players, a lot of guys that are transferring from different schools that didn't get a chance in some places that are getting a chance now. It's probably just going to take another year.
So let me ask you a question from that, since especially you and Troy, y'all college. I don't know about you, G. You watch college heavily, or?
Yeah.
All right. So do you think by him going there, it will allow them to bring better prospects there, to want to be coached under one of the greatest cornerbacks to ever play the game?
Yes and
yeah.
no.
Well, I understand why you're saying no, but I say yeah for the simple fact that like with the how I want
So
to
you think it's some
recruiting?
Giants stuff? That's why you can't
Nah,
get it. You think of the Giants because you can't get it.
I
out.
can't even get the word I want to say out. I with the historically black schools. That's what I was trying to say.
HBCUs.
HBCUs, yeah. With those type of schools, they don't get only a select few
Thanks for watching, Whitney.
gets notoriety like Hampton or Norfolk.
Okay.
But
okay.
but there's so many more other universities that's historically black that doesn't really get the notice that it really should get. I mean,
Well, you're looking at an HBCU alum right next to you.
well, that's what I mean. Like, okay, Norfolk State.
The whole
Oh, stop.
But I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the kickoff classics at Giant Stadium at the Meadowlands, and
Yes. Remembered those, man.
it was fire because not only because of the bands and all that, but the gameplay was dope. But now, like nowadays, when you go there, you get a full crowd for just when the band comes in.
Yeah, they only want to see the band.
And then everybody leaves. You know what I mean? So that's whack now. So I'm really glad that Deion stepped in and he started something now because now what's his name, Eddie George, he became the head coach now.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
With Tennessee State.
Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I think it's a dope movement that they're doing right now.
All right.
But you got to remember too, a lot of old Hall of Famers in the NFL from 60s, 70s, 80s. A lot of those guys went to HBC.
Yes, they
Yes, they
did.
did.
That's where all the talent used to come from, and that's
I love to
now
see
that's
it
the
get
power.
back there too.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
so like my no side of that though is because money. You guys, if you watch any type of college football, you know what type of facilities Oregon got. You know the facilities Alabama got. And when you 17, 18 years old coming out of high school and you see where you can train versus the nice, because that's what it is, nice facilities at HBCUs, you're going to go over there where things look world class to you. So You know,
NFL like.
yeah, but it will get better. You know,
Yeah, I was
what you
about to
gonna
ask you guys,
you
how
gonna
much
end up
faster
with
can
those
they-
players who you know typically gonna be second stringers at the dominant D1 schools who will probably think twice and say I'll go play 4 years underneath a guy like Dion. You know, as making the NFL for a lot of guys, and the average fan don't look at it this way, is relationship. Because there's some assistant DB coach who was an assistant or a grad assistant at your university, and he says, I want to keep this particular corner on the roster to the D coordinator take that to the head coach, and provided, you know, it's not like a wealth of talent before you, you make roster. A lot of guys make rosters just like that, the relationship. So being coached, being coached by
100% right.
Dion means you're going to get more NFL relationships. So it's not a bad thing to go, but I don't think they're going to attract the top 150 kids, besides the ones who, I commend them for it, who are making a statement like, I'd rather go to an HBCU.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to grow. That's going to take 10, 15 years of constant
I was gonna say,
development.
you think that? Well, I mean, like,
I don't know. The transfer portal actually makes it easier now. You know, the kids don't have to wait a year anymore when they transfer in order for them to play.
Yeah.
So if you can get, say, a year or 2 straight years where 25% of your recruits are from the transfer portal, you might actually accelerate that by a couple of years.
That's a great point. I wasn't even thinking about that.
That is a good point.
Because you know how many backup guys are going to want to jump at the end of this season?
Oh yeah.
And I can imagine that a good percentage of them are going to want to jump to Dion and Eddie George, right? Like, so
we
that's a
talked
whole
about
other side
one,
of it.
What was Monday? Like, Matt Jones, who
Yeah.
went to,
Or
multiple-
couldn't get on the field at Ohio
Right.
State. Couldn't really get on the field at Alabama. Like, this dude is just screaming the next Tom Brady to me.
Wasn't the Eagles quarterback? Well, the new starting Eagles quarterback. the
Jalen
same
Hurts?
way? Yeah.
But see, Jalen had the job. The thing about it was I think everybody who followed Alabama knew Tua was better than Jalen when Tua got on campus. Credit Nick Saban for not just throwing his guy in the trash.
Right.
He let Jalen lose the job to Tua. Jalen got a little banged up. And he
In the
was
game,
using,
no less.
he
that's
was
true.
using Tua in packages, and you just after a while you couldn't deny it no more, right?
Yeah.
Like, Tua was a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, and that's really what that was. But Jalen Hurts jumped out of there. He's like, look, I'm not competing with this guy next year as if I didn't already win a national championship for you.
Facts.
So he went over to
What's good,
Oklahoma.
Brian? Thanks for tuning in. He said they're all built by Tony Starks, apparently.
That's my man B Cameron.
That's a good point, though.
Shout out
That's a
to
good point.
the Flipping the Birds podcast guys over at the Philly Sports Network.
And make sure y'all gotta check those guys out, man.
Yeah, man. I wanted to get them on today, but due to technical difficulties beyond our
That's not
control.
to be real. Like I said, we run 2 totally different softwares, and I tried hard to get them up
To integrate theirs.
to integrate theirs.
That would've been dope, yo.
Ulysses, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, Big Yule, what's good, baby?
We tried hard to make a marriage, but we were unable to do it. We're just able to mimic ours over there, and I'm checking it out. It's still kind of crazy because we're running at 1080p. And the section that I had was only 720 or whatever. But if it can be worked out in the future, we will. I would love to bring other teams on because what me and G, what we want to do with our show, we want to bring on guests from the opposing teams to come on and talk about the upcoming games.
Yeah.
So we want to do that. So hopefully we play the Steelers and then the second.
Y'all don't want that smoke. Y'all
the
know I'll
second,
trash y'all in that
second
conversation.
Jets
Get out of
team
here.
Over there in San Francisco.
Y'all don't want that smoke because
Well,
know
y'all
he'll
the
trash you in that
first-
conversation
I
too.
think we play San Fran this year, don't we?
Giants?
I think
What's
so.
the rotation this year?
That's a good.
It's a rotation, right? Like, so
I believe
every
so, yeah.
every 2 years in
wait
your
a minute.
conference,
Every
every
four,
four,
right? Came in last
every
place
four
in-
outside of your
Four,
contract.
yeah.
Who came in last place in the East, Philly or the Giants?
Philly.
Philly did.
And that's who San Francisco plays.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be. Oh, not them. We'll see
So-
how it happens.
I thought we
Anyway,
did.
can we get into the second round now? We already late, so
let's go,
let's
let's
not hold
go.
the viewers up.
I mean, I got my second round list, so I'll just start it off. True.
Let's go.
Start it off.
Same rotation? Well, no, I'm last, so Steve, you're gonna have to go third.
No, like I said, unfortunately, I was swamped this week, last 2 days. So I'm like you, Troy. I'm battling. Like, nah.
Actually, the beauty of it is that sometimes this is kind of how the draft goes, right?
Facts.
You know,
That is true.
You have to you on the
You
clock.
gotta adjust,
You gotta adjust. You gotta
Brian
make a
said
pick.
better not disrespect Hurts. I had him on
First
my
of all,
fantasy team, man.
no.
He did pretty decent for me.
Listen, tell Brian to knock it off because I was on their show and I argued tooth and nail for Carson Wentz, so that's why he said that. He know I will disrespect Hurt in a minute because they did Carson wrong, man. They did Carson wrong.
Nah, here's the thing. Like, even though Peterson left, I think the coach, quarterback, and then it wound up being organization quarterback relationship fractured. And it was like, let's just get rid of him. Let's just start over. Because, like, you know, we spoke about before, he got a Super Bowl ring, but the most he did was
I mean,
with a
he
clipboard.
got one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
ain't
Like, you
earned
didn't
one.
actually play in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, hold on. We digress. Wait.
Wait a minute.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, started
Because-
Steve up.
Because
Yes.
the Eagles were what, 13-3 that year? They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When did Carson Wentz get hurt? Week 15.
No.
No,
14?
13 or 14.
It was
yeah.
late in the season. He got
Yeah.
hurt.
They had already had about
Oh,
10 or 11
yeah.
wins by the time
He
got hurt, right?
did that. Yeah, he did that.
Okay, so I mean, I don't think we could relegate him to just clipboard duty on that season.
Well, I ain't
Because
saying
if-
But at the
If
same, but he
Nick
didn't win.
Foles
He
started the
didn't
whole
win the
season, I
big
don't think
game
they
though,
make the
Steve.
playoffs.
I
He
agree.
didn't win the big game, bro. He didn't
No,
win
he
it.
didn't.
Yo,
Who's
how
the
many
quarterback
quarterbacks
that
win
started
win
again?
13 regular season games and don't win a Super
I'm
Bowl?
saying, though, if he
So it
did-
wasn't a given. It wasn't a given. He would have won a Super Bowl.
Phil Simms doesn't get he doesn't get diminished.
Man,
for
we
Jeff
so far
Hostetler
off topic right
winning
now.
the '91 Super Bowl.
No, he doesn't.
So you know,
I don't know. Like, who
I
what's the
can't
guy,
really
Foles?
fault Wentz
Foles.
for
Like,
that.
Foles was telling him to grab him some water. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah, but
grab
you
him
know,
water, like, with
Alright,
ice
but-
cubes.
that's an injury
All
situation.
you don't know,
I don't.
y'all
if-
could
if
bank
you
on
put-
truth always being the over exaggerating commenter. It's gonna always he's gonna go as far extreme left as he can.
Yo,
But wait, hold on, guys. Let's wrangle this back in because we ain't even start yet. Like we
Yeah, all right,
we got
let's
plenty of time to get into all of the sidebar when we get to the particular teams, right?
all right, so
So I'm gonna remind everybody, right? The Jacksonville
who's
Jaguars.
on the clock, Troy? You
Yeah,
gotta let us know who's
it's the
on the clock.
Jacksonville Jaguars right now.
Okay.
All right, so G Gun go first, right? In the first round, in unison, we all took Trevor Lawrence. So you got your quarterback, G. Where you going in the second round with this team?
All right, still going offense. Got to give him some weapons from skill position wise. So I went with Rondell Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue.
Okay, G.
Nice.
The Rondell Moore. I don't dislike the pick. I'm just going through here to make sure you ain't already draft him.
I had
Because
him
it's
in the
easy to
first
forget.
round. I know G didn't.
I had him in the first round.
No,
too.
I didn't have him in the first round.
I had him in the first round.
This phone
But
sucks.
I know,
we redlining these mics. That gotta sound sucky to other
it's
people.
Good. It's, all right. It's shut off here.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
even though it's there, it's not gonna go past this.
All right, so G, you didn't use Rondell Moore. I like it because I think we said on Monday night that DJ Chark is completely overrated in my opinion.
Right.
Steve thinks I'm a little too hard on him.
I
though.
like him too, but I mean, I
No,
agree.
I don't think DJ Chark is underrated at all. I think he's
Underrated? I said
think
over.
he's a very
Overrated.
overrated wide
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah, you know,
So
underrated
Brian
about
says,
it.
I'm
Great
gonna make sure I
deep
get the chat because they're taking the time watching us.
Okay.
Brian said he did the work, MVP type year before he went down. So we're talking about Wentz.
So why you
Yeah,
defending
absolutely.
Jalen Hurts then?
Absolutely.
You know I'm a trash
Start
Jalen
an
Hurts.
Argument right off.
I love arguing in the comments. Anybody else got some? Bring the smoke. Let's go. All right. So with that said, second round, Jacksonville Jaguars. Steve, you also well, because we all know they're gonna take Trevor Lawrence. Like they trying that
And
that
then,
BS now. So what you adding to Trevor Lawrence in the second round?
Well, not just Trevor Lawrence, but then I had him taking Terrence Marshall in the first round along with him. But now, top of the second round, I think you start to fix that offensive line.
Okay.
You go top of the second round, Jaylen Mayfield from Michigan.
Okay.
Jaylen Mayfield, like
Okay.
that's a ball.
Yeah.
Like that. I wonder, about his pass blocking ability. Sometime Michigan Harbaugh has yet to find his actual quarterback. So you see those quarterbacks run a lot, so it makes the offensive alignment seem kind of sketchy. But on run plays, and I told you I like Evans anyway. Like this dude, we're not doing highlights today like we did Monday night. This dude ran people over. It's a particular pick that I'm gonna have to co-sign. It's really a no-brainer. If you're gonna take quarterback number one, and especially if you don't address your defensive backs later on in the first round, you absolutely either get a wide receiver or you get that offensive lineman. That's a good one that absolutely should be there, waiting in the wings.
Like you say, you got to keep them upright.
Yeah,
Got to keep them upright.
absolutely do. So, with the second pick in the second round, we got Truth and his stinking Jets.
What's good, Trayvon Dixon?
Wait.
Your son is on, G. He said
Otave?
you went 7-0, but lost in the playoffs to the Browns.
Who said that?
My son.
His son.
Yo, turn my mic off real quick. I just want everybody to read my list. Turn my mic off real quick. Hey, G, your son on my list, man. He just made the list.
And Brian said, let's turn the show into the Philly show.
Oh, please.
oh,
Wait till we
man.
get to the stinking.
What?
What is it? The Sheeples?
Cream cheese.
There you go.
All right. So, what? I think we went quarterback, right? First pick for the Jets, right?
So your first pick for the Jets, yeah. I think everybody wins Zach Wilson.
We went, yeah, you can't do that. And also, I originally I had Horn, but I had Horn going higher. But I think Greg Newsome would be available for the Jets at 23. And to me, that guard out of Alabama, that combo guard out of Alabama, I would like them to pick him here at 34.
So
You're not talking about Landon, right?
That it's the guard.
Landon the center.
The
Yeah,
center
no.
From Alabama, is it? I'm
With
probably saying
that,
it wrong.
because I can't listen. I don't think that kid's gonna be there after the first round. I'm hoping, in all honesty, as bad as I do want a running back, and I know the fan base want to see the Steelers take a running back,
Right.
I think that's the pick for the Steelers. I honestly believe it. Kevin Colbert does a great job. Everybody know the Steelers draft well, right? So unless they got a center that they looking at, somewhere in like 4th, 5th round somewhere, like I don't think you pass that kid. I mean, I like that you want him. I just don't think he'll be there.
Okay.
I went edge rusher for the Jets in the
Okay, who you gave us, baby?
second round. Jason Owen for Penn State.
Owa, yeah. I used Owa in the first round too last night. I forgot where I put him, but wait, I got it. Hold on. I put him with the Ravens.
With the Ravens?
Yeah, in the first round. What
I
you
mean,
got?
I just
What you got for the
thought
Jets?
it'd be good fit for him on the
So
defense.
I got to run on offensive lineman at the top of the second round, actually. So I have the Jets taking a tackle.
Okay.
Liam Eichenberg.
Is that the guy from
Notre
Texas
Dame.
Tech? Notre Dame.
Notre
okay.
Dame, yeah.
Okay.
We played his highlights on Monday.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is that a lot of teams in the bottom end of the first round are going to get so many guys that probably should have never been there that the top of the second round is going to have another plethora of guys that probably should have never been there. Guys are just going to be tumbling all the way down.
So
into
basically,
the
second round, more like first round picks.
Yeah.
So wait, I want to argue with Steve real quick though.
Okay.
Explain to me why you think that Tennessee will walk past Liam Eichenberg in the first round.
Well, actually, I had them taking
Tevin Jenkins?
Yeah. Because they're more of a power team.
They are.
Yeah, and Eichenberg is not a power tackle. He's more of a
Finesse.
zone blocking, get out in
That
space.
dude gets off the ball with hip
And he
explosion
gets-
like a
yeah,
defensive lineman.
Absolutely.
I don't
And
understand how you
that's in
think
the
he won't
game.
run people over though.
That's in the run game.
But that's
would
what Tennessee want.
Yeah, but okay. Would you rather have a pure power blocking right tackle for Derrick Henry? Because that's what you do most of the time.
Yeah.
Tannehill only throws about 25 passes a game.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to strengthen that end, or are you going to go with a guy who might not be as good in the run game as Jenkins? I think
So
Tevin
this comes
Jenkins
down
is
to
a better
you.
fit
You're telling me
for
Tevin
what
Jenkins is a
Tennessee
better
would-
run blocker.
better run blocker. He's a better fit for what Tennessee would do than Eichenberg would be.
I can't remember where I put Jenkins, to be honest with you. I'm
Your
trying
son
to go back
thinks
to
he
it.
thinks the Jets should take Trey Lance. Not happening, sir. If he
Oh.
would have played this year, maybe. I mean, I know he didn't like Briggs said he didn't play against, the.
I
echelon
don't do that.
teams.
Don't do that. No, let's say it right? Because I'm not gonna say upper echelon teams because Duke plays in the ACC. That's not an upper echelon team.
There you go. Okay.
All right, so you can't say it like that. What I'm saying to you is there's a stark difference in a guy who is throwing the ball against a defense that may have two players who could make it and play at the NFL level versus, throwing it against a defense that has 5 to 9 guys who could play at the NFL level. Not first round draft picks, not second round, maybe 6th, 7th round guys, maybe undrafted free agents. The fact is they possess the tools to play there. That kind of talent don't exist in the numbers and at that plethora when you're playing in the FCS. And that's all I'm saying. I don't think that the kid can't play. Carson Wentz came from the same school. It's just different. You didn't play in 2020, and you already was playing against, with most D1 schools would have as their, second and third string talent if good enough to be on the team. That's different. It's very different. That's all I'm saying. I'm not discounting.
I think that's more of a result of what he was when he was in high school. He wasn't just a quarterback. He was kind of like he was a quarterback, linebacker, DB. He was blocking kicks. He was returning punt. I mean, he was doing everything. So I think if he would have played quarterback full time, he might have gotten a few more offers. I mean, 6'4", 225, power arm.
Man.
If you play quarterback 99% of the time, I guarantee you probably will have more than one offer.
Yeah.
Than from North Dakota State. So
that's why I felt him going to.
Sometimes that does hurt you in high school when you don't play one position all 4 years.
All over the place.
Yeah, and you're all over the place. Some teams don't know where to put you.
Okay, all right. So we had. It's up to you, Briggs. You want to dispute that, or we going straight to the third pick?
Nah, I don't dispute it. I wanted more clarification. The thing about it was, I was looking back as Steve was talking, and I realized that I put Etchenberg with Tennessee because I'd already used Jenkins. So it's kind of a moot point to argue with him about who I think is the better blocker when clearly I drafted one higher than the other, right? And it's the same thing he said. So, that's a dead conversation.
Okay.
All right, so now
we're at San Francisco, the third pick in the second. Sorry.
No,
Falcons.
Falcons.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Falcons.
Yeah.
Third pick in the second round.
All right, G. You gave the Falcons at 4 Jamar Chase on Monday.
Yes.
The Falcons only had one first-round draft pick, so it's just Jamar Chase. What you looking at now for the second round?
All right. I did some switching around.
Okay.
But this is with the Giants though.
Oh,
I had to, and
y'all so biased, man. Let me hear this.
But nah. After seeing all the highlights that Truth was putting up there, because some of the highlights I didn't really lock in and see. Mm-hmm. I just fell in love with the kid. Damn, where's he at? Is he on here?
What team?
What college team?
Georgia.
What NFL team were you talking about?
For the Giants.
Oh, you're talking about Azeez Ojulari.
Michigan. So,
Kwity Paye.
Right. Because you told me you argue my pick for Slater.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I thought about it more.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought about it more. I'm like, you know what? She's right. So this
Kwity Paye. Mm-hmm.
I would love for the Giants to pick him up in the first round. All right. So that kind of made my flip and my switch. So for the Falcons, for the 35th pick, I went defense for them. Edge rusher, Azeez Ojulari. The reason why.
The problem with that though is your whole first round now is thrown, because if you put in Kwity Paye on the Giants, right, that means you freed up Slater, but you still put Azeez Ojulari on Arizona.
I got somebody else for the Giants.
So now who you got in the first round for Arizona though? 'Cause you're removing Azeez.
Huh?
Yeah, I say you're removing Azeez Ojulari from Arizona in the first.
I'm removing Slater.
Okay.
From the Giants.
But you want to draft Azeez right now?
No.
To Atlanta?
I want Kwity Paye.
Kwity Paye.
So
okay.
that'll be my replacement for Slater.
This thing all turned upside down because now you need it. Now you need
basically
from Miami.
what he's saying is that he just rethought the Slater pick.
Yeah.
Which changes everything after his draft.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
like this is where
I was about to say, so basically, you might as well just tell us who you want to put on Atlanta because it will change everything.
in other words, he changed his mind, y'all. He really wants Kwity Paye. Even he just had a night to sleep on it. That's really all.
Yo, man,
That's all.
and I watched the highlights again, man. I'm like, yo, this
This
guy
guy looks
a
like
beast.
Von Miller.
Yes,
He does.
Kwity
He looks
Paye
like
is
Von Miller.
nice. That boy is nice. That boy is good.
There's only a certain amount of guys that you look at. Last year in the draft, my guy that I saw was Kayla Von Chasson.
Yep.
Yeah.
That went to Jacksonville. His get off was like
lightning
Like
in a
none
bottle.
other,
it's
man.
like nothing you ever saw. And then you watch Kwity Paye, and his get off is actually better than Chasson, and he's built better to play on the defensive line. So I mean, I can
6'2.5",
I
261.
can easily see him being a top 15.
261
10
pounds,
pick,
4'5",
He's not gonna
40.
make it to the second round.
I don't think so
Absolutely
either. He ain't going to say
Absolutely.
So then who
But
you?
with the way you made your picks, you know, he might have.
But I need to know who he putting on Atlanta for the third
Who you
pick.
got for Atlanta?
Who did I pick in the first round from Atlanta?
For Atlanta first round, you put Jamar Chase. You gave him a wide receiver, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that could stick.
No, second round though. Who you giving him now? in the
No,
second round?
second round. No, Ajiza.
Okay, all right. So that was the
Yeah,
pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I don't think he'll be there, but all right, Steve, who you giving
Oh, yeah,
Atlanta?
He's gonna be long.
Yeah, he'll be
Well,
long.
I mean, when I put it on there, I knew it was a long shot, but I mean,
Yeah.
But you never know. They might do something like what was it, Laramie Tunsil with the weed gas mask, and then all of a sudden he just start tumbling.
yeah.
You never know. You know that's why I refuse to do this the way you guys are doing it. I'm not gonna put players on teams because at this point I gotta believe Denver is changed the entire aspect of the first round right now.
I think so too.
Picking up Teddy Bridgewater for a bag of footballs and a fish sandwich was
Actually,
that changed everybody's perspective.
I honestly think.
Yeah, a bag of footballs and a fish sandwich. That's what they traded for Teddy Bridgewater.
And that's exactly what it looked
You're
like.
right. I originally had Mac Jones going there. I thought because you surround that man with talent like he already has.
Right.
He performs.
Mac
And
Jones is
Denver
going to get a
has
GM
talent
fired.
already.
Oh gosh, here come this is the first argument.
Okay.
Truth, get on the comments. Let's find out who feel what way. So
Mac
Jones is going to get a
to
GM
a
fired.
GM fired if they take him in the top 50.
Those are huge words.
Okay then.
Yo, did you see G face just now?
I've been waiting. Anybody who will listen to me, I've been trying to tell
Let's
them.
go.
I'm a half-hearted listen to you.
I'm a 49er fan, okay?
That's
And
what your problem is. You don't want him in a 49er jersey.
No. First of all, I didn't want him at 12. Forget 3.
Okay.
I didn't want him at 12.
Okay.
The day the trade was made, Chris Sims gets on Pro Football Talk and says, I would be shocked if it wasn't Mac Jones. From that day on, everybody else ran with it. But nobody has actual logic as to why the pick would be serious.
Okay.
They don't take into account Kyle Shanahan has had 4 Mac Joneses already. Brian
Yeah.
Hoyer, C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo. All you be doing is trading 3 first-round picks for a guy that's 6 years younger than what you already have.
Okay.
There is no reason for you to do that. Now, getting into the rest of the top 15, if you draft Mac Jones and you draft a quarterback in the top 15, you want to see that quarterback be a top quarterback in your division. You don't want to draft a guy and then have the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in your division, where you have to have every single thing perfect around him in order for him to actually succeed. That's not a guy you spend a first-round pick on for me. That is just not. Joe Burrow, you can't argue that with Joe Burrow because LSU was not a national championship contender before he really took that next step.
So I'm still gonna have this argument until this kid wins the Super Bowl and finally shuts me up. I'm not doubting him, but I cannot dismiss Joe. What was his name? The offensive coordinator, Joe.
You talking about Alabama?
LSU.
LSU. Oh, you talking Joe Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of that was Joe Brady versus Joe Burrow? Did you see Joe Burrow's numbers before he transferred into LSU? Did you see them his junior year in LSU? This dude was super pedestrian.
Yeah, but
super pedestrian.
I mean,
He's the guy that wouldn't have wowed anybody until his pro day.
I
And all of
get
a
that.
sudden he breaks every college passing record on a team that broke every offensive record in the NCAA, and then he's first pick.
I get that.
He
So-
had a lot of weapons too. I mean, to add
I'm
to
not
that.
telling you that Joe Burrow can't play. I just don't know how much of Joe Burrow that we saw at LSU was Joe Burrow versus Joe Brady.
So basically, the play call.
I think
Bro,
I think that would
The man
be-
was proven when he got there, Joe
I think
Brady.
that would be a little bit more legit if Joe Burrow went to Cincinnati and just bombed out. You saw the legit
Well, they
talent
got weapons out
in
there.
Cincinnati.
He didn't move into a horrible situation out there.
Where in
in
Cincinnati?
In Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Real
Well,
quick,
actually, no. You know what?
Ryan
I don't.
says he'll take Fields at 3.
Absolutely.
He said he'll be the second best quarterback in the draft, and he also let you know it was Joe Brady. And he says he had 3 phenomenal receivers.
Are you talking about Mac Jones?
I think
No, he's talking about what Joe Burrow did at LSU.
Oh yeah,
Like I said,
yeah.
Burrow went to a team that had multiple good wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good running back, and he has a good tight end.
I'm never willing to knock a player for having talent around him, though.
I'm not
I just
knocking
I
him,
don't
but it was a
do that.
similar situation.
I just like I said though, when like coaching matters, man. It's the reason why Nick Saban
Absolutely.
gets a new contract every 2 years.
Absolutely.
Coaching matters, man. It matters a lot, and it's not always the head guy.
Now I'll just say this: did you ever think of Ed Orgeron as a top flight coach before last year?
Not gonna lie, I did not.
Okay.
I felt like he was the
So then-
emotional motivator
And
on
this
whatever
is my
staff.
thing between Burrow and Mac Jones. Alabama has been in the national championship conversation every year for the last 10 years, probably.
10,
LSU
a
maybe
little more
what,
than
2
that.
out of 10, and one of them was with Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones stepped into a situation where they were already expected to win. No,
But he didn't throw it away.
of course you didn't throw it away. I mean, a lot
So
of
why
guys
don't you
get
give
in
him
there-
any credit for that?
I'm not saying I don't give him any
The
credit.
the man won some games making the right decisions and the right throws.
How many teams in the NFL are built like Alabama?
0. Well, maybe KC and Tampa Bay.
Maybe KC and Tampa.
No, you don't build NFL teams the way Alabama's built. Because what you don't know,
the
because
point
you
is-
you admitted that you don't watch a lot of college football. Alabama could beat most of the nation with their third stringers right now.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah.
understand. Alabama no longer needs to recruit. They call a kid up and be like, "Hey, we'll offer you a scholarship if you come," and he commits right then and there.
Yeah.
Like that roster, when you look at it top to bottom, and then you go back through ESPN's top 150. If you watch some of those high school showcase games and see how many of those kids back then are on Alabama's roster right now, if they're not over at Clemson, it'll kind of jade your view of college football. You wouldn't even want to watch it. It's like the top 150 players, 75 of them are at Clemson and Alabama, and then the rest are scattered around the nation.
Well, that's similar to the whole situation with our defensive tackle, who really didn't start until the last year. We knew he was talented. Didn't come on strong his first year. In the second year, he pretty much exploded before he got hurt.
You know Quentin Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like I said, like talent upon talent run through this. So I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and see, that's just my thing, man. I if you are up in the top 5, you
Sam Darnold was in the
cannot-
top 5.
But Sam Darnold is an infinitely more talented player than Mac Jones, and if you watch Sam Darnold, you know that the
Oh,
Jets gave him
trust-
absolutely nothing.
Well, that
They gave him
you
absolutely nothing.
No
comments
coaching,
on Monday,
nothing.
so you know I feel this game. But I feel like the reason why I threw that in there is because I feel like for what we know that we got from Sam Darnold and what we think that Mac Jones possesses, you completely discount Mac Jones. Like
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
It doesn't-
you know,
I'm marrying these two
I'll put it
ideas
to you
together.
like this: if you include Sam Darnold in the equation,
Okay.
that Zach Wilson's pro day, right?
Mhm.
He had that throw going to his left, throwing back right, went 55 yards,
And that's when
Sam
everybody
Darnold
loved
did
him.
that with pads on.
He did.
He
He
did.
did it against the 49ers.
He did it with pads
he
on.
did it against the 49ers.
Yeah, and actually he did it twice in that game, and then he did it the week after. He does it with pads on already. Now here's my thing.
I should have gave Truth my
you-
own highlights because Mac Jones made not as
Look,
far,
I'm
but
not
similar
saying that
throws
the guy
rolling
is-
out for Alabama.
I'm not saying that.
Listen, you got to get the guy a ball. Like, you know, like, so, like, you can run Najee all you want. You can run Devontae Smith all the way down the field. You can do 7 routes, 8 routes, 9 routes, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Quarterback got to get the ball there. No, don't show
Absolutely.
Mac Jones highlights. It's a
Absolutely.
particular
No,
throw I said I wish I
listen,
should.
I'm not saying the guy is terrible.
You
But if
are.
you
are
picking-
saying
no,
he's
if
terrible.
you are picking that high, you need
wouldn't
a
take that
special
chance.
talent. You do not, and I'm speaking as a 49er fan, where Mac Jones has been mocked to us by everybody and their mama for the last 3 weeks. If you are trading 3 first-round picks, you are not trading it for a guy you are about to get rid of.
They might take Trey Lance.
And that's fine
That'd
too.
take Trey
And that's fine too.
All right,
It
all right,
needs
wait,
to
wait,
be
wait,
either
wait, all
Justin
right.
Fields or Trey Lance. It
All right.
cannot be
I got a
the
question.
same type of guy.
I got
that you
I got a
already
question from Mr. 49er fan, right? So this was my stance on it when I was thinking about it. I think I might have been talking to my man Big U if he's still in the comment. The thing about Trey Lance and the 49ers is this. I don't think that the 49ers, as much as we know they are done with the Jimmy Garoppolo experience, I don't think they're in a rush to get out of it, which means they have the time, right, to develop a Trey Lance. They have the time to do it. Now is Shanahan trying to win right away? Does he, as a 49er insider, I know you are, that they don't know, they about to find out, that you read every single article written by every beat writer in San Francisco. As a 49er insider, I'm going to call you that. Tell me, how secure is Shanahan's job? Does he need to win now, or can he develop a Trey Lance and still have his job 3-4 years from now?
Let me get to the comment before you answer that, Steve. So Brian says Mac Jones is a system quarterback that can possibly take his team to the next level. He's another Jimmy Garoppolo.
Whoa.
Jimmy's arm is better.
Yes, it is.
Jimmy's arm is better, and he's actually more mobile. That
Brian-
ACL tear took away some of his mobility, but he's still more mobile than Jones.
Brian, you are a system commentator. No, I'm just kidding. So let me hear. No, I need the answer to this question.
Before we go, Brian, I'm sure you'll probably comment on this too. But one of the things that's not talked about Mac Jones that I know we hear ad nauseum in the NFL, and we especially hear it about, and I don't want to get into it too deep, but we hear it about black quarterbacks coming out too. Mac Jones actually threw the highest percentage of passes behind the line of scrimmage last year. So if you're going to say, and what have you heard all last year in 2019? Oh, well, the 49ers are loaded, but they got to get a quarterback. I don't know if Garoppolo is there. He doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. But now you're going to turn around and say it's logical for a team to trade 3 first-round picks for a guy who threw the most passes behind the line of scrimmage in college football.
Listen.
I don't understand that.
Listen. You can throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you can.
In the
But
NFL, they do it all the time.
it
Ben
cannot
Roethlisberger
be
threw for what?
a
How many
negative for one guy?
How many
and a
yards Ben
positive
Roethlisberger threw
another?
for this past season, and he threw the ball downfield literally one time per drive?
Yeah, it happens in the NFL. I'm not worried.
You're still not losing. Well, like, what's your beef with Mac Jones, man?
Because you already have that quarterback. You are in a
don't wanna
division
get
with
into-
Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Matthew Stafford, and you're going to come out with Mac Jones.
You got to step it up my feet. All right, so
With
Brian said
McCorkle Jones.
Shanahan's job is more secure than Biden's.
Absolutely. Yeah, Shanahan is good, man. Shanahan
So-
just got he just got another extension.
All right,
he's
so
more secure
if
probably than John
we
Lynch.
know he's staying, especially because Robert Salah just got his own job, right? So if we know he's staying, now sell me Justin Fields over Trey Lance.
Did you see the game against Clemson?
Yes, of course I saw the game
What else
against
do I
Clemson.
need to say?
Listen,
Wow, yeah.
listen. You need to say a lot more. It's one thing to show up to a big game.
No.
It's
The
the-
man played with busted ribs for 3.5 quarters and threw 6 touchdowns on a team that was supposed to be in the national championship game.
Can't argue with that.
I don't like basing nothing off one game, and he know better. So
All
right
right,
now
well,
he's
then
just
you
trying
go
to
the
cheese
year
me right
before
now.
when they should have beat Clemson and let.
Talk to
if
me
it was
about
not
when
for
he
that
was
bad
when
interception.
he was behind Jake Fromm at Georgia. Now don't get me
He was
wrong.
a
Wait.
freshman.
I thought that Kirby Smart was an absolute idiot for letting that happen.
Yeah.
He should have beat Jake Fromm for that job.
Oh.
But
Kirby Smart also likes the traditional pocket quarterback.
and that's why Georgia ain't never gonna win no national
There
championship.
you go.
Like,
Gotta get
in all
with-
honesty,
with the
that old school mentality just it's not working
Yeah,
no more.
that's why Justin
I-
Fields didn't work there.
I feel like this, right? I feel like Justin Fields is what he is, and I feel like your particular favorite team is not built for a quarterback with that skill set.
Why not?
Because you guys don't have the offensive line protection that allows him to sit and then decide
Oh
to
yeah, they
run.
do. Absolutely.
Nah.
Absolutely. Well,
Nah.
let-
You
if
got
you
road
wanted me to
graders.
sell
You got road graders over
If
there.
you wanted me to sell you, I'll sell you right now.
All right, go
Forget the game against Clemson.
Okay.
They just re-signed Trent Williams.
Mhm.
They got Alex Mack from the Falcons. Alex Mack has been with Kyle Shanahan now 3 times.
Yes.
Once in Cleveland, made him an All-Pro. In Atlanta, made him an All-Pro. Now he's in San Francisco. They just gave McGlinchey his 5th-year option. Laken Tomlinson has been probably one of the absolute best moves that has never been talked about. He was a first-round pick by Detroit. I believe it was 2015. He was first round, 12th overall, something like that. He got traded to San Francisco 2 years later for a 5th round pick, and he has not missed a game at left guard since. Now, you have that. You have the best tight end in the game. Yes, Travis Kelce, George Kittle is the best tight end in the game.
I would have argued that last season, but after last season, no, I'm not going to argue
Why?
that.
Because
You're right.
he was hurt.
Who?
George Kittle.
No, because I just felt like Kelce outperformed him. But then this past
He's
season,
still not a better player than Kittle.
I said I would have argued that last year. I won't argue it in 2021. I would have argued it at the beginning of 2020.
But,
Yeah.
but let's. You got Debo Samuel. You got Brandon Ayuk. You got a plethora of guys.
Which is why you don't need a quarterback back there running for 9 yards.
Hold on.
That's why you don't need it.
Troy, you asked me to sell you.
Okay.
So let me sell you.
All right. Okay.
Now, that's not counting the stable of running backs that pretty much run the whole show.
Yes, they do.
Now, here's the thing.
I got you, Brian.
2012, even though they drafted Kirk Cousins in the 4th round, they made it work with Robert Griffin, who was nowhere near the passer any of these guys are.
Okay.
He was a sprinter and a run-and-shoot quarterback at Baylor.
Yep.
Justin Fields is a passer. So here's the thing. You have that running game, you have all of those weapons on offense, and you have an offensive line that is solid. Now you have the element of not just a passer, but a guy who can take it on the boot and go 4-4 to the end zone.
I feel like Justin Fields can pass. He's not a passer.
He makes the game 11 on 11. Mac Jones makes the game.
We spoke about that
10.
Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We spoke about that on
He makes the
Monday.
game 11 on 11.
All right, so Brian says Fields is a game changer. Stop the nonsense, Briggs. He also says kick Troy off the show. My blood pressure's rising.
I'm on your show next week too. Watch. I got all.
But even with Trey Lance, they have Garoppolo there. They
You don't have to rush him. And
Yeah,
either
you don't
one,
have to
you
rush.
don't have to rush.
And even if you take Fields, you don't have to rush him.
No, he's gonna sit.
But I will
unless
say,
he outplays the
no,
crap out of
if they take Fields,
Garoppolo.
he's beating Garoppolo out day one.
Unless Garoppolo gets hurt again, opening the car.
All right,
But,
listen.
but
Enough
before you
about
go ahead,
the.
Before you go, I do have to ask Truth a question. Seriously,
All right.
Yes, sir.
what did Justin Fields do between the Clemson game and now, to where people were actually considering that he might be the number 1 pick over Trevor Lawrence
Shoot.
after that Clemson game?
Giants
and it was
fans wanted
that
him.
was legit.
I didn't know.
What did he do? What did he do?
What did he-
He went to the pro day. He went to 2
he had
pro
a-
days and made all the same throws Zach Wilson made.
He had like a seizure or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
but I mean, look,
But you know how flaky the
did that
NFL.
come out?
I know, but and you know how flaky the
And
NFL
this is
is.
my thing, of course, and that's what I'm saying. This is draft time. I think that all of this Mac Jones smokescreen stuff is the rest of the NFL scared to death.
I don't think the Niners
that
are going to
Kyle
take Mac
Shanahan
Jones.
will
I
get
just
a
think you
dual
bias
threat who
against
can
Mac
actually
Jones.
play quarterback.
I think you bias against Mac Jones. I don't think that they're going to take him. I think you're biased against him. That's all. That's just what I think. Like your
he's
disdain
not
for
somebody
having that man in San Francisco is why
He
you act
is
like
not
this.
someone you trade 3 first-round picks for.
I understand what you're saying. Like if you're going to give up that much, it
You
has
better
to be
get
for
you a
Trevor
game
Lawrence.
changer.
Yeah, it has to be for Trevor Lawrence.
There's got to be something great in
It's,
return.
One of the top 3.
Yeah, I feel what you're
One of
saying.
the top 3. You are not trading that for McCorkle Jones.
All right, so who did you give to Atlanta?
Steve ain't give nobody yet. We done went off on this whole tangent, and Steve ain't give nobody.
We'll get back to that.
We with the Dolphins, huh?
No. We still got to give the Atlanta pick. I mean, listen. I gotta. I feel a certain way about this whole Mac Jones stuff, man. I don't like it.
Who you
But
giving to Atlanta in the second
Atlanta,
round?
I give them Wyatt Davis, offensive
Yep.
lineman from Ohio State, the guard center combo. They just lost Alex Mack.
You starting to make me think I was tweaking. Like
They,
all these players, I gave them away in the first round. Like I'm like,
They,
you don't pass up on Wyatt Davis. Like, how does he get to the second round?
Because I think one of the things that goes against him is that his pass protection isn't as good as like Cree, Humphrey,
that's
or
what we were saying.
Dickerson.
He's
It's
more
not
in
a,
the running
yeah.
game.
Yeah, it's more in the running game,
And
exactly.
those kind of guys you take in the second and third round, not in the first round.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Brian says Wilson is overrated. He's a billboard quarterback.
Wow. Zach Wilson?
Zach
I
Wilson?
don't know about that.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And I'm not being biased. 'cause
Listen,
we're gonna
and
draft
listen,
him.
I could tell you true. Troy could tell you right now. I was
3
texting
years
them
ago.
about Zach
Mhm.
Wilson.
3 years ago. Because I told him 3 years ago, I was like,
Listen,
come on, man. He had BYU. Relax.
The arm talent on
I
this
said that
kid,
to him. I was like,
Oh, my God.
BYU quarterbacks, right? Since Steve Young, they make all this noise in college, and none of them do nothing in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I kind of much like USC quarterbacks, right? Like
I was just about to
Darnold's
say,
the second
like
one.
like Leinart, you know.
And all of them except Carson Palmer and
decent
Sam
career.
Darnold. Like,
Yeah.
so when 3 years ago he's telling me about this Wilson kid, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Wilson is the goods, man. I
and
don't
watching
know
him
who-
though, this
Yeah,
kid
he's
can make the
goods,
throws. He moves
definitely can
well.
make the throws.
It's not wasted running with him a lot of the times. I
Nah.
like that. He looked.
Can-
He looked better than Trace McSorley looked, right? And I always thought that Trace McSorley kind of caught the raw end of the deal, only because his skin color was wrong for the way he played, right? Like you look for black quarterbacks to play the way Trace McSorley plays, so nobody really wanted to give him a true shot at it. But he in the
He was a
right
little
system.
small, too.
He is very small.
Can,
Yeah, he was a
I,
little
can I
small,
ask you
too.
guys this? Because he's getting a lot of comparisons to Mahomes and Rodgers. How do y'all feel about that?
I can see
No.
this throwing.
You know what?
I'd
That's
say more
one of the-
Rodgers than Mahomes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No,
I
actually,
wouldn't use the comparison, but I would go
I'll
more
be
Rodgers
so
than
honest
Mahomes.
with you, when I first saw him, the first person I thought of was Patrick Mahomes.
Really?
Really?
First person I thought of.
I mean, he
He's
doesn't
got.
have the arm strength. But now he has the. No,
I don't know, True.
Yes,
Wilson
he
has
does.
True.
I'm not
True.
saying
Yeah,
his
man.
arm
That
is-
boy could throw a ball through a
No, he
bulletproof
can't.
vest.
You know what I said? It's what I loved about Wilson is not just the fact that he threw it, way down the field. Some of those doggone passes were liners.
Yeah, outside the
30
numbers.
Outside 30, 40 yards and on a dart.
Yo,
Outside the numbers.
However
too,
many-
which is the hardest throw.
I was just about to say that. I don't know how many of y'all actually know how hard it is to make that throw.
Yeah.
All right, so let me argue with y'all about this Atlanta pick because I think both of y'all silly. I lost my list. I'm doing too much with this computer over here. We got about 5 quarterbacks still to go, right? And this Atlanta team, as of yesterday, I think I looked, does not have a single backup quarterback on it. And you telling me that they're going to walk out the second round without getting one of these, not Trevor Lawrence, Justin Field guys? Why? Why would they do it? I don't. I'm actually a better question since they're not in here to answer that. Why didn't you guys think they? I'm sorry. Why did you guys think that they would leave the second round without taking a quarterback?
But, well, go ahead. You can go first.
Well, I mean, first of all, my first pick in the first round was an offensive pick. So then I started thinking, and I see where you're going with this, but I don't know. I really feel like maybe they can get somebody that's out there, a veteran, or somebody to plug it in. Because if they actually draft, like say in the first round, if they do draft the quarterback, they can get a veteran that's still out there at the least minimum to be at least a.
Yeah, I should
doable
check the
backup.
list of free agent quarterbacks. Maybe it is something there. I don't know. What about you?
No,
Why
I
did you
think
walk
for
out the second
Atlanta,
round without a quarterback?
Because I think Matt Ryan has 2-3 years left on the deal.
Oh my god.
30 million a year.
He changed my opinion on his career.
Who? Matt Ryan?
Yeah. The way
He gonna play. He gonna keep playing.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna keep playing.
I don't know about trading.
Ain't nothing wrong with him.
But
talking
no,
about
actually,
Julio,
look, Julio might not be a bad idea to trade. It might not be a bad idea.
I mean, unless you could trade him
Calvin
in the top
Ridley is
20.
serious.
Yes,
Calvin
he
Ridley
is.
is a serious
But that's
player.
only because Julio's gained most of the attention.
Well, actually, when
Raleigh
Julio got
around.
hurt, Calvin Ridley actually played better.
Can't argue that.
He actually played better.
Can't
But I
argue
think the reason why I wouldn't give Atlanta a quarterback here is because I think with 3 years left, you got $30 million. No team is going to take that, number one. Number two, he's your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You're not going
He
to
still
push
need a
him out the door.
backup, though.
No doubt. No doubt. He does still need a backup. But you're not going to push him out the door with a top 5 pick breathing down his neck. And I think in the second round, I don't know if there's a guy there that you feel good enough about to say, this is the guy we're going to pass the torch to in 3 years and make that transition from Ryan to X player.
And plus, on top of that, it just sends the wrong message.
Yeah, I think it does. And two, I just think if you're going to stick with Matt Ryan, even if you draft a quarterback, if you're going to stick with Matt Ryan for that 3 years, you got to give him something to work with.
This is why I think y'all bugging, right? Steve, you and I can agree. G, I don't know where your mind is on this. Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond is not getting out of the first round. I think it's going to be Kyle Trask not getting out of the first round. You think it's going to be Kellen Mond not getting out the first draft. The other guy's there. And this is a guy that you don't need to play. I don't think that Matt Ryan feels any threat with one of those two guys behind him.
I think
can't
both
see
of
that.
them going in the first round. I got 6.
I don't
All
like,
6 quarterbacks
I
going
don't
in the
like
first round.
Kellen Mond, man.
I don't either.
All right, so then even if Sam Ellinger's still out there, Shane Buechele's still out there,
Sam
SMU.
Ellinger?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wouldn't. No. He's
Look.
a career backup.
I'm just saying, it's quarterback. All right, but you got a quarterback who's gonna play another 5 years. Get a career backup and hold your career backup for 5 years.
But why would you need to spend a high draft pick
Yeah,
to do that?
wait, not that high.
Yeah, that's a little too.
Because
that's too high.
all it takes is
Now-
one
now,
hit.
if you
All
wanna-
it takes is one hit.
Now, what you can do is if you want to go ahead and say, day 3, we're sitting there in the 5th round, and there
These
might
guys
be a
won't
couple
be
of
there, though.
guys.
Let me see who might be there.
No, if
Felipe
you're
Franks
talking-
might be there.
If you're talking about
Third
a career
day.
backup, that could be something that you can do.
What about the kid at App State?
Actually,
Zach
I thought.
Thomas.
Yeah, honestly, I thought a guy like, say, Ian Book, say in
Oh.
the 7th round, something
yeah.
like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think Ian
Sixth,
Book was gonna make
seventh
the NFL.
No, I mean I don't think he'll ever be a starter.
I'm not disrespecting him.
No, I
I'm
think
not.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
but-
will
I
at
just-
best be a
you
backup
know-
camp body. But
Exactly.
if you're going to take a chance on a quarterback,
That's a practice
with 3
squad
years
quarterback.
left of Matt Ryan, I think that's the kind of guy you got to
Still
go
take,
for right
take a
now.
little chance with it though. I mean, I think.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best GM in the world. I
Because
don't think I leave the
I'm
second
with- I'm
round
with
without
you,
a
though, 'cause
backup
I
quarterback.
felt like that's
No.
Especially because you always one hit away, man. You always one hit
I
away.
think if they were in the
You
same
always one
situation
hit
as
away.
Tampa Bay, where Tom Brady's 44 years old, and you really don't know exactly when Father Time is going to hit the alarm clock, that's probably where. That's why I have them taking Trask in the first round. But Atlanta, Matt Ryan still got at least 3-4 good years left. I don't see the need.
All right, second round, 4th pick. We have the Dolphins on the clock. G, who you got?
All right, for the Dolphins in this. Oh, hold up, my messed up phone. For the Dolphins, second pick. Win offense, center from Alabama, Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, the one I put on the Steelers in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at the pick. I like the kid. I hope he don't
I
get
got
out the
him
first
in the
round.
first
though.
round.
I mean,
Getting past 34, but I feel you.
Listen, man,
I got him
I'm
going to the
trying here,
Packers.
man.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I'm telling you right now, if he's available at 34, it's a wrap. It's over.
It's just a thought. It could happen.
No, I feel you.
Of course. That's what makes it really hard to do a show like this, especially when you got 4 opinions, right?
Yeah.
So you got 4 different draft boards, right?
Yeah.
So like, because I thought he was gonna go in the first, you don't have to believe he's going in the first. To you, he could have been a 3rd round guy. And nobody's. I'll never tell you that you're wrong. I'm
That's
telling
true.
you that I feel so strongly about him. I didn't think he was gonna get out the first round.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
all good.
I honestly don't think he'll be there. He could be there.
But I mean, to be honest, in all
My Steelers better not let
seriousness,
him be there. I'll tell you that much.
it's a need for the Dolphins though. They need some central help.
I agree.
So.
All right, Steve, what you got, man?
I actually have them taking the other Miami defensive lineman, Jalen Phillips.
Okay.
You think he's going
And-
to fall this far?
Yeah, you know why? Because if Rousseau has a potential to. I think one. The thing is I think one or the other is going to fall. Whichever one doesn't get taken in the first, the other one is going to fall.
You ain't
I
lying.
think, but because Phillips had such a cloudy history, injuries, concussions, then he actually retired from football. I think teams are going to look at that and say, all right, we love the talent, but how committed is he? And if they have just an inkling of question about it, I think he's going to fall out of the first round. But I don't think he'll fall past the second, though.
Absolutely
He's
not.
too big and
Yeah, somebody will
powerful.
take a
and
shot in the
yeah,
second
absolutely.
round.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it wouldn't you wouldn't hear the crowd what do you call it, the people at the gate asking for your head.
Yeah. I think
First round,
I think
second
that's a
round.
perfect value pick in the second round.
All right,
for them.
Troy. how you
No,
feel
man.
about
You know I ain't. I'm look. It's. I can't argue it. When it comes to G's pick, it's a sound pick. It's the right pick. It's a good fit to go ahead and get a offensive lineman. I just don't believe G's guy will be available. And Steve may be right, because one or the other is going to go in the first round. I don't think both.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
Oh, that's E Money Bags right there. What's good, E?
They cut Kyle Van Noy. They traded Shaq Lawson. And they just paid those two guys last year. So, I mean, they have holes there on defense. I think they probably filled them with some of those picks this year.
All right. Is Brian still in there?
Snap, Brian. Here you go, baby. Here you go. You got your Eagles, second round, 5th pick. G, who you got?
All right, so Eagles, 5th pick. Oh, 5th pick. You said 35th pick, right?
Yeah, 34th. I'm sorry. Yeah, 35th. 37th.
No, 37th.
37th.
All right, so I went with the cornerback
Nice.
from Virginia Tech,
I knew it.
Kayla Farley.
Yes.
You know, I think we spoke on it the other day.
We did, and I see. Did you sure you ain't use Caleb Farley?
I did use.
Oh, but you switched their whole draft now.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
I don't think Caleb Farley falling that far, man.
Yeah, I think he will.
I
think
he will?
I think he might actually fall to the third round.
I thought long and hard about it.
Yeah.
I really
And it's
feel-
not
I
it's not
feel-
because of talent.
No, it's definitely not because of talent. It's because of
Because of need, right?
of the other picks he needs in the first round.
Eric Stokes, Brian.
Because look what
Eric
happened,
Stokes.
look what happened a few years back. The with
Thank you,
with
Briggs.
Landon Collins.
Thank you, Briggs.
He should have actually been a first round pick.
That's the guy I want.
Who's that?
Landon Collins.
Landon Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Who you got, Truth? What?
No, I said,
You
that's
know
who I
what?
want, Stokes.
From
A
Georgia.
guy like Landon Collins, though. A guy like Landon.
See what
Collins,
Brian say about that.
He said,
Players like Landon Collins rarely get picked in the first round unless they have super elite traits like Jamal Adams.
You ain't lying.
Those two are kind of the same player.
so yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you put Adams next to Collins, Adams' traits are up here. Collins is kind of like.
well, I kind of
somewhere
learned that
here.
after a couple of
You
years.
know what I mean?
Can't
So,
cover
like,
for shit.
I think that's probably why. But for the Eagles, I actually have this is where I have them taking Asante Samuel Jr.
Okay.
Yo, you got Asante Samuel.
I got him.
You know
going
what?
to the
That's high
Bucks.
enough in the second round. Yeah, that
first
can
round.
happen.
I have
We were still at the top. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because I don't think I used him to like pick 30, right?
It's
Like 30 or
late first
31.
round.
Yeah.
I got him. I got him
It's
going to the
late
Bucks
first
in the first round.
Yeah, the last pick, right?
yeah, I got
so-
and his father
All right,
played.
Brian,
His
I got
father
you.
played for
What's
them. His father played for them. I think he fits
He did
what they.
play for them.
Yeah, he did. He did
Oh,
play
that
for
would
them.
be- that would
I
be
think that would
beautiful.
kind of be like a kind of an Orlando Brown to the Ravens kind of legacy pick right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get to
Brian.
Brian real quick. G, he was like, no, timeout. He said his injury is too risky. Briggs, he was like, yes, Stokes. That would be a phenomenal pick for him. Farley is he has a herniated disc.
Yeah, he's got back issues.
He does
I thought he
have
had the
back
surgery
issues.
already.
Yeah,
Forgot about
that's why I
that.
said I think he might fall to the third
Damn,
because
I
he's got
mean,
he's
I
got
did
serious
forget
back
about
issues.
that.
I did
He,
forget.
he had the surgery though.
Yeah, but that's something I
That's
don't-
surgery.
that back
You
playing
know,
corner,
playing corner
those
and you on an
big-ass
island
receivers.
But I think he'd be
Man,
alright though.
Today's medicine, bro.
with the quick twitch that
He
you need
young.
to play corner now. I don't know if a back injury is something you want to take in the first two rounds where
And
you
he said
expecting
the
them
Eagles
guys to
can't
start.
take that kind of risk, especially
Yeah.
at corner. I agree with you.
They need all the help they can get. They better
So,
take it.
Brian said Starks or Samuels. He'll take either one, but I think Stokes is the better player, hands down.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Brian Cameron. You could catch him on the Flipping the Birds podcast on the Philly Sports Network. Again, we wanted to have him, virtual in. Software wasn't compatible, so we'll hear from Brian in the comments. All right, so now we got the Bengals up with pick 38.
Did you argue it?
No, there's nothing to argue.
Nothing to argue on that
No,
one?
they need a DB.
You ain't lying.
That's just
All right,
everybody know
G,
that.
it's 38th pick.
All right. I kind of got robbed because I forgot about the trade in the first round. Who got that? I think the Chiefs gave up one of their picks to the Ravens.
Yeah,
right?
they traded pick.
So that
31.
kind of screwed me up. So with this pick, it's definitely a great need for the Bengals because Burrow was pretty much running for his life until he got hurt. So they need a lineman, and this is he's one of the he's a good lineman, but not one of the better linemen that you can probably grab in the first round. So I went with Alex Leatherwood from Alabama,
Yeah, it's another dude I use in the first round.
offensive tackle.
Not bad. Especially because you felt they should take Kyle Pitts, right? With the 5th pick in the first round. And Kyle
you
Pitts
giving
ain't
them-
blocking nothing.
You giving them Alabama bookends?
Yeah. I mean, I don't,
Jonah
I don't
Williams
dislike
will be
it.
back this year, so that might actually work. I actually
Williams
have
will be
them taking an offensive lineman too, But
Wait. I'm sorry. Before you get into it, and actually, this question is for you, Steve. So, we ready to bench Riley Reef at right tackle in Cincinnati?
Riley Reef?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that, man. I don't think Riley Reef worth.
Yeah,
worth benching, man.
First of all, I don't think he was really. I'm not going to say he wasn't a good player in
I
Detroit.
just
I
think-
think he was an average player in Detroit, and I think if you can replace or add to an average
Or had him battle
position,
it out and
have him battle it out, best man wins.
Let him go.
Back up the man who doesn't win gets the backup job. Simple as that. I
That's
actually
how
have
DJ
them,
Fluker became a backup. That still
Yeah.
puzzles me.
You know what?
DJ Fluker's a
when,
backup.
when we had Fluker, I was mad that they let him go. We should have kept him.
He's got attitude issues, but he could play. Like he ends up flying around a lot of places because apparently he just don't get along with nobody.
This is actually where I have Samuel Cosme going.
Cosme.
Yeah,
Did I use
go
Cosme
to Cincinnati. I think you get Jamar Chase in the first round. You get your offensive lineman in the second round. Those are two positions you really. I mean, well, Jamar Chase is a no-brainer.
So
you know,
Yeah.
you
going
would
with Burrow.
pass on the first round. You would pass on Penny.
Well, he has been so well at the 6th pick to Miami.
Yeah,
That's what he
as
has.
Cincinnati.
Like,
You know, I
your
think that's
quarterback just
a
got injured for
hard
the entire season.
that's a hard
I can't pass
decision.
him up.
Yeah, but you just took Jonah Williams last year in the top 15.
Okay,
feel
true.
He's going to be a franchise left tackle.
Well,
So
I'll
it's
give
not
you-
like that's not a super pressing need per se. You know what I mean? But if you have a chance to put Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase back together with Boyd and T. Higgins
That's scary.
and Joe Mixon.
Man,
I mean,
that
that's,
is scary, true.
Oh man,
Scary.
that's
That's
hard to
scary.
pass up in a division like the AFC North,
Yeah.
where you have the other offenses that are high powered. That's hard to pass up.
All right, Troy. Any battles, or we can keep going?
You know what? I just want to walk back to the first round real quick because I was looking at what we did on Monday, and I realized that only you and G felt that Kyle Pitts should be passed by Atlanta in favor of another player. G had Jamar Chase. You had Justin Fields, right?
You said to Atlanta.
Well, I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
just
had
talking
Atlanta
about. I'm
too.
talking about Kyle Pitts being drafted before Jamar Chase.
No, I had Jamar Chase going to the Lions,
I know.
and I had
Which-
the Panthers picking Kyle Pitts.
Right. So, I guess the question, I walked it back because the question that I wanted to ask you guys is, why do you think that Kyle Pitts should not have gone before Jamar Chase, and in your case, Justin Fields?
Me, it's again, you just lost Galladay
Mm-hmm.
as far as my pick in the Lions. You got a new quarterback. You got to give him weapons, and that is the biggest weapon threat to me. And I understand Kyle Pitts is a freak at his position, but Jamar Chase literally ran by every corner that got picked.
If you don't stop messing up people's names, because you throw me off, because I start
sorry,
thinking of other
Jamar
players.
Chase.
Jamar, you saying Jamal? I'm like,
Sorry, yeah, Jamar Chase literally
You
ran
two be
circles
butchering names.
Around
every,
Alabama DBs.
Yeah, every corner that we had
Yeah.
going in the
Yeah.
top 20,
Yeah,
he literally made them look like rag dolls.
yeah, yeah.
If this was fantasy football, G, let's say we were drafting a fantasy football team, are you truly picking Jamar Chase before Kyle Pitts?
I mean,
It was a setup question, man.
it is.
Why
It
receivers
is.
get way more points than tight ends do?
Nah, it is. But you know what? I'm thinking more of the immediate need instead of just the name.
You know what? I'm gonna help you out a little bit here because you could say wide receivers get a lot more points than tight ends do, but Kyle Pitts is not a traditional tight
He
end.
not, man.
He's
He
not,
he
man.
he is
He
what Jimmy
is-
Graham was plus.
Well, actually, he can actually block. Jimmy Graham couldn't block. I call him Mr. Soft.
I'm not.
Nah,
listen,
nah, nah.
I'm
Jimmy
not.
Graham was
I'm not
hard.
gonna
He
bet a
still
substantial
can.
amount of money on Kyle Pitts blocking nobody. But yeah,
Yeah,
he do a better job than Jimmy Graham did. Yeah.
Damn sure
But
do.
I'm not
No,
putting
you're
no
not
money
gonna
on
put him
blocking.
in line and tell him to line up and block a defensive end like a Kittle or Kyle Rudolph or one of those guys. You wouldn't ask him to do that. But if you're gonna put him out, even in the slot, you're gonna ask a 5'9" DB who's known for his quickness to guard somebody that's 6'5" and 250 that can run past him like it's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Scary.
that's scary.
And we, Briggs talked about that on Monday. The fact that man running down the middle and no one can stop him.
Like who you can't put it. The only DB off the top of my head that might be able to keep up with him is Derwin James, and that's only if he stays healthy. And he's not even in the same conference.
That's a good point.
That's a good
I mean
point.
that off the top of my head, that's the only safety that has the size and speed combination to actually make it happen.
All right, so I just had to, because I was just looking and I was just like, that was interesting. We didn't even talk about that yesterday. All right, so we had 39 Carolina Panthers.
All right, first round. You have me up there for first round?
Oh, yeah, I'll bring it back up. Hang on one second. So
I think I went offense.
you want to know who you did with the Panthers? Yeah,
Yeah.
you went Greg
Help
Rossay.
Darnold out.
Rossayal. I can't say that name. Rossayal. That's who you took for Carolina.
In the first round?
Yes.
All right. So in the second round, I went defense, and I said that I think I was talking about the Bears or was I talking about the Panthers. I said their defense is good. You did one of these.
The DBs, the Panthers DBs. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you said that, and I'm like, what? As a unit, you mean?
Yeah, as a unit.
Because those DBs are weak, man. They just probably the second weakest DB core besides Philly. We lost Brian, so I can't even get an argument for that. But okay.
Well, I'm trying to give them a little bit of help with the DBs right now. I selected Tyson Campbell out of Georgia.
Okay, so I'm a Georgia guy. I don't like Tyson Campbell this early. This early. Like, no. It's the kid could play. You know me, the entire time when we started Monday and until right now, I'm looking at value and fit, right?
Right.
He's one of those guys that'll probably serve you better as a nickel than he will trying to cover anybody one-on-one. Even his zone coverage is a little, he has good quick bursts, like the way I was talking to you about Chargers corner Jalen Ramsey. So like he could get up to his sixth gear pretty quickly, and it saves him a lot of times because he's able to get back to where the ball is, to get a hand in the receiver's face. There's just so many technique flaws, I'm not sure what class he's in there. I think the kid could have benefited from another year.
I saw some tape. I didn't see a lot of tape. I ain't gonna lie. I seen some tape. And some of the tape that I saw, I mean, of course they're gonna show you all the good stuff.
Yeah. That's why the highlights.
Yeah, I didn't really look up any cons or whatever.
I only know this
Always
because
look
I'm a
at the
Georgia
highlights
fan.
and the lowlights.
Right.
But
You got to get the lowlights in there.
if you was a Carolina fan and the need is for cornerback for the second round, what corner would you select?
I don't even know which corners I got left. Let me see.
I'll tell you from the ones I have left. Just to answer G's question, from the ones I have left, I would take the Georgia kid Stokes.
Yeah, you still got Stokes
I
left.
still have Stokes.
I would have
left,
put
so
him on Philly.
But I'm not going defense for Carolina. I'm actually going offensive line. This is where I see Leatherwood going. Now, I had Slater going to Carolina. So the reason being is because last year, Carolina was the only team that actually did not draft an offensive player. They drafted all defense last year. They did. Every single pick was defense. So now you add Sam Darnold. You did lose Curtis Samuel, but you still have Robbie Anderson. You still have DJ Moore. You still have Christian McCaffrey. You need an offensive line. If you have a chance to fix your tackle position for the next 8 to 10 years in one draft, I don't see how you pass up the opportunity to do it.
To answer your question, I like Aaron Robinson better, and I just found them too. Kelvin Joseph at Kentucky. Just one-on-one comparisons, like him versus those two guys.
I like Paulson Adebo more than him too.
I take that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
That kid's gonna be a
he's
serious
going to
NFL
play
player, by
at the
the way.
NFL. Yeah, he will. He's going to play at the NFL level. He's going to see minutes. And he's going to get snaps, and if he stays healthy, he'll have a good career. Value. is where I got stuck at on your pick. It was just value.
Okay.
Like if we was talking pick 58, yeah,
Third, fourth
yeah,
round. Yeah.
60, better. 58 and down.
Oh, 58 and down in the second round?
Yeah. Where I would. I forgot his name now. The Georgia kid. The one you just picked.
Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell, yeah.
I was trying not to say Stokes because I love Stokes. But anyway, Campbell to me,
Boy, good.
the closer coming to America, that boy good.
Good and terrible.
So I just feel like the closer we are to the third round and any point after that, like I can understand the team wanting to snag him, with the last 4 or 5 picks of the second round.
Right.
If you see a fit there, I'm not going to argue with your perspective of it. I just like at what you have to pay a second rounder that you pick in this high, you could get a similar player, if not maybe, does a few more technical things better than Campbell does. For less money later, still just don't do it. Like I wouldn't,
I got
That's
you.
all I'm saying.
I got you.
All
All
right.
right, number 40 got the Broncos up, 8th pick in the second round.
That's funny.
All right, for
With
the
that new quarterback.
Broncos with the 40th pick in the second round, I went with a Jabril Cox, linebacker at LSU.
Okay,
That's
so
a great pick.
this kid to me was like wildly electric and never spoken about. And he kind of reminded me of I don't know again how much college football you watch, but Steve's gonna know this right off the bat. Alec Ogletree when in his junior, I'm sorry, was it sophomore? It was his
sophomore year.
Sophomore year at Georgia,
Yeah.
where it was just like, there
Where
was
he
no
looked
noise
like-
behind this kid. We talking 12 tackles a week, and
He looked
nobody
like Ray Lewis
cared.
out there.
Yeah, and nobody cared. Now, if it fizzled out in the NFL, true.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is gonna happen to Cox though. Like, it's just another one of those guys who should have gotten way more notoriety than he did. I can't even tell you what pundits are looking for that they haven't talked this kid up higher. And I think that's a great pick. I wouldn't even be mad if he would have went in the first or second pick of the second round.
I haven't really heard a lot of noise about him at all.
You got to look for
Yeah.
it. You have to look for it. It's crazy.
And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
I picked
yeah.
it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, for Denver?
Yeah.
Oh, Denver, I had them. I have them sticking to defense with Micah Parsons. This is where I have Eric Stokes going.
Okay.
This is where I have him going. I think for them losing what they've lost over the last couple of years, and now they need to start fixing that offense. I'm sorry, to start fixing that defense again. That was their strength for a few years running. I think it's about that time.
Vaughn will be back.
Well, yeah, Von Miller be back.
Apply
Bradley
some
Chubb is a
pressure.
beast.
And
And
that'll help apply more pressure to the quarterback,
Yeah.
maybe rush him a little more.
yeah, and I think that's why I gave him Micah Parsons in the first round, because I think they've been missing that linebacker, that impact linebacker
Right, when
since.
you let Sam Darnold run by your entire defense.
Yeah, they've been missing that kind of guy for a long time.
It's definitely time to
yeah,
start doing
yeah.
so.
Well, more so though, because they need to make sure that they help Justin Simmons back there. That's what they really need to do. The man is balling out of control, and anytime you keep the ball away from him, you get exactly what you want.
I will say
that's
too,
terrible for him.
Don't be surprised if you see Denver taking a running back in this situation too. Now I don't think that they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the point where guys like Etienne and Javonte Williams and others start to
You're already in
really.
Pittsburgh chilling right now.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I had Harris going to Pittsburgh, but and I think he'll be the only first round running back.
Najee,
Yeah, I think he'll be the only first rounder.
let's deviate a little bit, right? Because that was like one of the points Monday that I enjoyed the most when we got into this running back discussion, right? And who Pitt should take with that running back. Right. So you the kid from North Carolina, I forgot his name.
Javonte Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you liked Williams, right? And you cited that Le'Veon Bell was 250 pounds at Michigan State. He never caught the ball out the backfield. He got to Pittsburgh, transformed his body, and then transformed his game, right?
Well, that was in response to the insinuation that Williams would be the same type of player, and that's just saying that guys do develop traits after they get to the league rather
Right.
than them coming in already made.
Right.
Like a guy like Barkley was a second overall pick because there was no holes in his game. You don't see Javonte Williams catching 50 passes and taking them to the house like Barkley did at Penn State. So you have to see if that's something that you could work with, and that's why I think Harris is the only running back that pretty much checks every box in the draft. That's why he's the only first rounder for me.
I don't think that Travis Etienne doesn't. And you said the only thing that I could honestly find wrong with Travis Etienne when you were in the comments on Monday. Like, that dude touched the ball a lot.
He touched the ball a lot, and I think he's more of a zone runner a one-cut zone runner than he is a power
But that's
guy.
what the Steelers doing. That's the reason why I wanted to come back to this conversation. Now, we know Najee Harris could do that. This is not a
And
comparison.
Najee Harris has much less tread on the tires.
Right. It's not a comparison in skill. It's more so, was that the deciding factor in why you put Najee Harris with Pittsburgh?
I think he's bigger.
Simply because it's less.
I think he's bigger. I think he'll be more durable for the NFL. I think his contact balance is much better than Etienne.
Which is strange with them stiff-ass hips. I just don't get
how
it.
How hard is it to tackle him? How many times did
impossible.
you see him go between the tackles and he's dragging defensive linemen 2-3 yards?
Forget that. The crazy part is I think I only seen him with my own eyes get tackled like 4 times in the outside on the flat.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one-on-one tackles with this guy.
No,
Like,
it's
That's what I'm
not
saying. And
at
there
all.
is
I
with
saw like
Etienne.
5 one-on-one tackles. Like, that was it.
There is with Etienne, and I think when you get to that point, that's what separates those guys. You have elite talent with Harris. I'm not saying Etienne is not really good, but he's not the elite talent. Like, if the only thing honestly holding Najee Harris back from a top 15 pick is the 40 time.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
So we all go with Denver. Because it's funny. I got this little mock draft up from a website that I like a lot. They don't pay me in the promo. They also have
Look at them a lot too.
they have Denver taking Aaron Robinson, which is funny. I just wanted to bring that up to G, so G know that I wasn't just second guessing him. Like, Aaron Robinson, a little higher.
A little higher.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to tell you that. Like, I got some pundits behind me who I trust. I do trust their information on this website.
That's cool.
They give
But I mean, it's like I've been saying before, like we discussed the other day. I don't mind learning. Shoot, man. You could chew my head off, but you know what?
Hey, man, you changed my mind a lot too, man. It's not one-sided.
I'm a sponge in this room right now. Do you see how
Listen to him then.
you see how my head is swelling right now?
You look like Brainiac.
I'm gonna walk out of here and feel like I'm Mel Kiper.
All that knowledge, you gotta get the hair fixed.
Oh my
You know what
God!
I mean?
All right, true.
All
Let's
right, so
move
we
to
got Detroit
41.
41.
I love this, man.
This team need help everywhere, so it don't matter who you try.
Well, yeah, they do, and
Highest rated player on the board, please.
I believe I went offense my first go around because
You want your first round pick for
yeah,
Detroit?
it definitely was offense. I wish I bought my damn
I know
book.
I gave him Jamar Chase.
You gave him Michael Parsons, G.
Yeah,
With the seventh
you
pick.
and G and Troy gave him Michael
So I
Parsons.
went defense. All right. So I went defense again on this one. I mean, well, they need it.
Yes, they do.
So I went with he's an edge rusher out of Washington.
Yeah.
Joe Tyron.
Yep.
Yeah,
Joe Tyron.
I think he's a lot better than people.
Yes, he is.
I didn't
I
have
think
him.
he's a lot better than people.
I didn't have him going in the first, but he is.
He's a lot better than people think.
He's one of those West Coast casualties playing in the Pacific Northwest. He just doesn't get
Yeah.
seen by our, media market. So he is talked about a lot. That some good things over there. What you got, Steve?
Actually, and it's funny because I had Detroit taking Trey Lance in the first round.
Okay.
And but I actually have them taking his right tackle in round 2. Dylan Raditz. Okay. He is
A bull, another bull.
a big bull, but he's very
definitely
balanced.
is, yeah.
He has great footwork.
That's the 6'7", 6'8".
He's like 6'6", about 310 pounds. He's a pretty big guy. He's got great tackle size.
And he's very light on
but
his feet.
he's equally as good in the run and the pass and pass pro. But the problem with him is the same problem with Trey Lance. Where did he play? And that's why teams aren't going to look at him probably how they should, because he is. I mean, if he played at Tennessee, he'd probably be a first-round pick. But he didn't. He played at North Dakota State, so he's got to go somewhere in day 2. And I honestly, in Detroit, I think they need guys like him. Frank Ragnow has actually been a great pick for them believe it or not, even though Patricia sucked. But he's been a great pick for them. So just continue to build the line. And I think Radunz is probably the best prospect at tackle available at that point.
Just a quick follow up, piggyback behind what you just said. Like with some linemen, when they are at schools that aren't as notarized, like for instance, the Giants pick was it last year or years? I think it was 2 years ago when they picked up Hernandez. He played at San Diego State.
He played.
No, not San Diego
he
State.
He played at El Paso, UTEP. He played at UTEP. Yeah.
And I don't even think they won a game that year or whatever, or the last few years he was on the team. But it's just that he stood out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I agree with you with that.
You know where a lot of those
Actually, he'll tell you, I'm
those
not the biggest
guys.
Will Hernandez fan at all.
No, you're not. But a lot of those guys, you know what happens? They get their chance to shine in the one time that they play, like, you know, either their top competition or they get one of the bigger schools. Like a lot of these App State, you know, guys, they're good football players. I'm not saying that, but they make the national media when they go and run for 138 yards or have 11 receptions against like Michigan, right? Win, lose, or draw, you know. So to me, when I started looking at North Dakota State, you know, linemen, even what was it, Upati we were talking about? You know, Idaho, right? Like, so it's hard. Like you want to watch the technique as hard as you can.
Though. Upati was different. Though.
He ain't had no
he was a man
had
amongst boys.
exactly. He ain't no competition, and that's the
that
point
was-
I'm making.
that
Though
was- he was
the point I'm
different.
making is you look at the technique, you watch it, you see, you know, how seamless he can make it work, right? But it's also hard to tell how hard it was. It's like video games in one regard. Before you dismiss me in the comments, right? It's one thing to see a guy win 56-7 in Madden on All Pro. It's another thing to see a guy win 56-7 on Rookie. So then, what's your skill level, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. So, and that's all I'm saying about like North Dakota State, or
But I think
not North
guys
Dakota
like
State,
that-
but got FCS linemen. It's just the linemen that I view like that.
Guys like that. And just speaking of linemen, most of it, like Will Hernandez, actually got drafted. His draft stock rose after the Senior Bowl. Same thing
When you
with,
can compete with the big boys.
Same thing with Alex Kappa from Tampa Bay. His stock rose after the Senior Bowl. He got drafted a couple rounds higher than he should have gone. But once you get out there, you get that exposure. They see you against other guys who are from bigger programs, who are deeper, who play top competition, and then they can see that you can hold up. I mean, it's a no-brainer for them after that. They just won't take you in the first round, but they'll definitely take you day two.
That was a good point. You know, I tend to forget about the Senior Bowl. I don't know why I do that, but that'll separate the men from the boys pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. What?
Absolutely.
That's their Super Bowl.
Let's keep it moving. We got the Giants, number 10. G, who you gonna give your team, man?
All right, so
Waterboy?
this is
He already gave him an offensive lineman, right? Wasn't he like gung-ho on getting an offensive lineman?
yeah, but
You switched it.
I switched it. Now this is where my switch comes into. You know, this is where you're gonna see how I band-aided it up.
All right, let me see how you did.
All right.
Up.
So I got the Giants picking on, getting a lineman. It's not Slater, but he's an offensive lineman out of Michigan, and I went with Jaylen Mayfield.
Oh, that's funny because my little website over here got the same exact pick too.
Stop playing.
I'm dead serious. Same exact one.
See, I'm getting good at this shit, man.
And it's funny because they make a mention of, and the reason why I made sure to bring that up to you when you said it was because I was already thinking about the fact that this website believes that the Giants is going to take Rashawn Slater in the first round.
Oh, really?
Yes, which means it plays into exactly what you was telling me. Yes, Monday
Man.
when I was yelling at you and I'm like, "Are you crazy?
Oh,
Are
man.
you crazy?"
Well, you know what?
Apparently, I was the crazy one.
I hope I'm right twice. Let's go.
I actually have
That's
I have,
crazy.
I have the Giants taking Pat Fryermuth in this spot. Tight end from Penn State.
Okay.
I'll admit that I think you are more right than I am because I don't think that Fryermuth's really going in the first round. I just saw a fit.
Yeah, the Giant Evan Ingram has been. Is that a nice way of putting it?
Yeah, I mean, that game won't
yeah. I
be-
mean,
Oh, True Vibe TV don't do nice; they do real, bro.
yeah. That was a nice way of putting it
Refuses to
actually
catch the
because
ball for
I
some
I
reason. He's
remember
very inconsistent,
I counted maybe
man.
about 3 or 4 games where a player or two from him could have swung the game toward the Giants' favor. And because he didn't make the play or drop the pass or fumble the ball, it literally swung the momentum right away from them at a lot of different times.
Could have sealed
And
the
I
game
think
too.
Freiermuth is actually, could have sealed the game. I think what game was that
Philly.
they lost? Philly, where he dropped a wide open pass that would have went for a 70-yard touchdown, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, and then he doesn't really offer you much in the blocking game.
He's gotten better.
He's gotten, but
I got to stick up for him. It is my team.
he's still a liability.
yeah, you're right.
And I think if you can get a guy who has his pass catching ability with enhanced blocking ability, you have to go there.
But I think that's the reason why the Giants in free agency they went and picked up Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah,
Which
but Kyle
is
Rudolph is also this is probably the last year. That
Yeah,
he's gonna play
his
football.
last stop.
Yeah. So I mean, they gave him a 2-year deal. He'll probably play one more, and then that's it. But I don't think you could pass up a chance, and especially too, you're having so many problems on the offensive line, and you don't employ a fullback. So if you can get as many inline blockers as you can to help your tackles out,
Right.
that probably is the best way that you could
Yes.
go to make sure that Barkley actually is successful and Daniel Jones is upright.
And the other thing too with Barkley, man, you shut up.
What are you
man.
laughing at? What the comments looking like over there? Because you gotta be. That's what you laughing
No,
at.
I'm laughing. He said if you lose, you can keep upright.
Yeah, you laughing.
Yeah,
at,
I mean,
you
look,
laughing at my squad.
And Troy, tell you, I was not the biggest Daniel Jones fan at all. However, that kid's got some wheels.
Yeah.
Like, people joke on him because he blew
I
a
remember-
tire at the 10-yard line. But, he got some wheels, man, and he's got an arm. He's got a very powerful
I
arm.
remember
I
exactly
did not
when
see
you
that from
changed
him.
your mind about that kid.
Yeah,
it was right after they lost to the Steelers on Monday night this
And I
past
said
season.
if it wasn't for him, they would have lost by 40.
Yep.
And he
That's when
really
you
kept
changed your
them
mind.
in the game.
Absolutely right.
He's done that plenty of times. And really, if you watch the Giants play, a lot of times when they got into trouble, it's because they couldn't protect Jones.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when they protected Jones, they look like a completely different team.
And to be perfectly fair, when Will Hernandez caught COVID, they plugged in that Lemieux kid.
And I
next
said,
to
and
Thomas.
I said when they benched Will Hernandez, that was the best thing that ever happened to that offensive
There you
line.
go.
The best
There
thing
you
that
go.
ever happened to him.
Any debates?
Nah, they actually spoke about the only thing I was gonna bring up. Because when Steve decided that he was gonna take Freiermuth, the first thing I thought was like, didn't they just get Kyle Rudolph? But they spoke about it, so it's no point. Yeah, it's no point in me arguing nothing. So, all right, we'll move on.
San Francisco, number 43, 11th second round pick.
All right. I really like this pick. For San Fran. For their cornerback. Or cornerbacks, I should say. I went with I'm gonna do my best.
You got you choking on sunflower seeds over there.
If Fute Malufadu, Syracuse.
That's probably how Roger Goodell would say it on draft day too.
Yeah, right. Spell it, man.
Who?
Yeah, spell
Just
it.
put it on the screen and just let it go, man. He'll see it and start cheering
IFEATU.
with his family. The Syracuse
All
kid.
right, hold on. Let me see if I can find the.
I feed to Melifonu.
There it
The
is.
Syracuse kid.
Ifitu Melifonu.
That's what I said.
That's what I said. Championship. TJ, who's your mama? It's who's Pizzada. That's what I said. Championship. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never saw this kid play. I saw one Syracuse game.
I like him.
They made a game a little bit with Pitt and then lost. And
Syracuse actually did that a lot this
I
year.
watched a few Syracuse games, and I've actually seen him, play a little bit. And I mean, I like the kid. I mean, and like I don't. It's not a real imminent need for the San Francisco 49ers.
That's what I was sitting here looking at. I'm like, I
know what I
don't
mean?
dislike San Fran's DBs.
But I mean, for depth, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
they're definitely gonna take another corner at some point.
Well, it's your turn, so who you
I don't
taking?
think it'll be right now though.
All right, so
Who
who?
you got him?
I actually got my draft crush going here.
Oh, here we go.
And you probably haven't heard of him too much, but Patrick Jones II. Now, he is a defensive end from Pittsburgh. Elite size. This guy You know, when I first watched him, the first person that actually came to my head was Dalius Thomas. But then I started watching him some more and realized he was just as good against the run as he was against the pass. If you look at his career at Pitt, his ascension from year to year is unbelievable. He had his consistency in tackles for loss, sacks, forced fumbles, getting to the quarterback, creating pressure. You know, just he lived in the backfield. And I think guys like him that don't necessarily have the flash and didn't necessarily go to the big school will get teams slipping by them in round 1, but nobody's going to let them pass in round 2. And I think for him, if he was a little undersized, maybe, but at 6'5", 265, yeah. And at this point for the Niners, they need some help on the edge. Bosa can't do it by himself. You can't count on D Ford to come back healthy. You know, Armstead is really more of an interior player. Mm-hmm. They took Kinlaw last year, who's going to be really, really good, but they need another outside guy.
All right, Troy.
Patrick Jones.
Try to look him up.
No, it's not that. I'm trying to find out what happened to his like hard numbers in this past season, because it almost looks like he didn't get better from his junior year into his senior year.
Well, he had a career high in sacks his senior year.
9.
He just didn't have splash plays.
He had 8.5 his junior year though.
Yeah.
Which by a half sack.
Because
all right,
if you think about
you can
right?
have that. Yes,
if you
can
think
definitely
about it,
have
right,
that.
a lot of these pass rushers that are coming out are 1-year wonders. You know, they're not guys who have been getting 8, 9, 10 sacks all 4 years of school. You know, they came out 1 this year, 2 sophomore year, maybe 3 junior year, and all of a sudden they have 15 senior year, and it's like, oh, can't believe this guy's going to be the next elite rusher. I mean, you got to start looking at guys that are consistent.
Didn't Winston do that? Josh Allen, he was consistent in school.
Who's that? In Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was but his junior year was so good. It was just like to go from 6 sacks to 17.
Yes.
I mean, now 6 is good,
Yeah.
but his junior year was so good. It was like, no, we can't really pass that up. And you know, his measurables are, you know. I mean, the Jets did too.
Yes, the hell we did.
Yeah.
I just got one question for you, Steve. You can see my monitor over here, right? Mm-hmm. And this is the kid who I thought you would have went first.
No, they don't need the defensive tackle.
But Jaylen Twyman
They
can
don't
play
need
on
the
the
defensive
edge,
tackle.
bro.
No, you don't want to. They
He could
already
play-
tried that with Solomon Thomas.
Yo, you see how quick he shut me down? Like look at his face though. Like he looking out the corner of his eye like, leave me alone about this, bro. You about to get this smoke. Like you about to get this smoke. That's how he looking at me.
You first of all, and this is another reason why, and you talk about hating on Mac Jones or whatever. They had in 2017 the 3rd overall pick, and they passed on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. You really think they're gonna do it twice?
That's a good point.
And that's
Good
why I
point.
said you are not going to make sure you make up for your mistake by taking a guy that you already have. Mahomes already beat you in the Super Bowl with the guy that you say is good enough to get you there. And Watson, you were already prepared to give 4 first-round picks to get him from Houston. Mm-hmm. How do you go from a player like Watson to then giving up 3 to go get McCorkle?
If you don't stop calling this man McCorkle,
That's his name.
I know that's his name, but you're being condescending.
His name is McCorkle.
You didn't need 4 picks to get him. All you needed was a towel and a robe.
Well, for at the time before all of that,
True. Did you hear what this man said, G? I don't think you heard this man say.
Nah.
He said you ain't need 4 picks to get him. All you needed was a towel and a robe and a pretty face and some oils.
Oh man.
Yo, truth.
Yeah,
all right, I'm signing off, man. I'm out of here. I can't with you.
But seriously, I mean,
I heard the funniest joke in the world on Facebook, and now we're talking about him. The guy said his girlfriend gave him a hand job with Vaseline, but he went to the shower and he came an extra 3 times trying to wash it off.
I don't even get it. I'm not even.
Vaseline is
Because
thick.
it won't come off.
Yeah, we'll I walked away from my phone when I saw that.
What type of petroleum was she using?
Oh man.
I was like, I'm done with the internet for the day.
No, but seriously, I mean, they've already got enough interior players. They don't need more.
Jalen Twyman could beat DJ Jones out.
He's not gonna beat Kinlaw out. He's not gonna beat Armstead out. They already. I mean, they've got.
They got DJ
enough.
Jones listed as a starter right now. He could beat DJ
and
Jones.
And he is plenty good.
He could beat DJ Jones out.
No, I don't think you waste a draft pick when you
Pick 44, truth. I'm not about to get this smoke.
Cowboys. They need, if Cowboys pick anything but defense in this entire draft, I'm going to slap Jerry Jones. I mean, that was atrocious.
You slap Jerry Jones, they're going to put you under the stadium.
All right, so for the
remember, you're a Giant fan, so don't try to give him the cheerleader in the 5th round.
yeah, for these cow bums, went defense. Picked up Javon Holland, safety out of Oregon. Whack.
Decent pick.
Where you get that pick from?
Huh?
Where you get that pick from?
Man, I'll be digging. I was digging.
He's a decent pick for them there.
It's a similar wavelength on this side of the table.
I was digging.
Steve, it's on
Actually,
you.
I haven't taken an offensive player actually.
Really?
Yeah, Miami tight end Brevin Jordan.
No.
So look at it, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Think
let's
about
look at it.
Think about it for a second. Think about it for a
Let's
second.
look at
Yeah,
that
talk
one.
to us about that one right there.
Wow.
You're Dallas.
Right?
You have the opportunity to solidify your entire offense with one pick. You've already now in the first round, I have them going defense. You have the opportunity to solidify your offense with one pick. You don't have a tight end, a reliable tight end. Dalton Schultz is good, but he also is coming off an ACL injury. He is not 100% going to be ready for the year. You have a pick like Brevin Jordan, who, with more consistent quarterback play, probably would have been in the first round conversation, but he wasn't. So you have a chance in the second round to get a guy to get a position that you know you really need, and is not going to hurt the rest of your draft to address at this point. I think you could take Brevin Jordan right now and you can go the rest of the draft defense if you wanted to. But I think at some point, I think just because you've taken CeeDee Lamb and you gave Amari Cooper money and you have Michael Gallup and all these guys, it's not. I mean, it's kind of foolhardy to say, oh, well, we can't take an offensive player because look at what we already drafted.
Okay.
And plus, they don't really have like a I'm not saying that it has to be like a big name, you know, whatever. But they got pretty much a tight end by committee.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So if you have a chance to fix that, why wouldn't you?
So
You know?
I get
Yeah,
you.
I get what you made a very good point. I was thinking of I'm not big, but there's this very, very big wide receiver. I don't know if it was TCU or it was one of those schools. I can't remember his name. I apologize. All right, so let's keep it moving. Oh, sorry, Troy. You want to battle that, or are we gonna keep it moving?
I don't really want to battle it, but I think Holland's the pick here too. Go. How often does Dak Prescott throw to the tight end? Like
Well, I mean,
he threw it to Zeke
if-
way more, and then he was going downfield. We were talking
if
about-
Jason Witten was still there,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say a
Yeah,
lot.
he throws to a safety
If he had a
valve.
reliable source,
Absolutely.
I agree, he probably
He will.
would. It would help his game out
Mhm.
a lot more.
I was over here trying to find out how many passes Dak threw under. Was it 8? You
Dalton
call
Schultz
it 8
actually
yards,
had
right?
He had a few really great games last year.
Who?
I think Dalton Schultz. I
Oh.
think he had a couple of 2-3 touchdown games last year. Hey, I know he had at least one.
Before he got hurt, right?
Yeah, before he got hurt. So, I mean, it's not like he won't use the tight end. He will. He just doesn't have one that is reliable enough for him to trust in a situation where he needs it.
Now, don't get me wrong, though. They got a couple tight ends, man, that I would love to have on my team.
Dallas?
They I mean,
Yeah, but that's because you don't like
or
Evan Ingram.
maybe because our defense was trash those last couple of years too. I don't know, but some of their tight ends, like I don't remember their names, but their game is pretty.
You got Dalton
pretty
Schultz,
decent.
Blake Jarwin, I believe, is the starter.
Okay,
Dalton
Jarwin, yeah.
Schultz, Jeremy Sprinkle, and Sean McKeon. Who
Now, you tell me which one of them you would start over a guy like Brevin Jordan.
None of them, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would drive Brevin Jordan because Dak Prescott got hurt trying to win the game
Now,
41 to
I
42.
will say this too.
Like, let's stop
While
some people,
While I'm
please.
taking Brevin Jordan here, I think at some point, either this draft or the next draft or even in the next offseason period, Dallas has got to start thinking about reworking that offensive line. Like Tyron Smith is
Didn't that
about
thing
done.
fall apart pretty fast?
Yeah, because they all got hurt.
It was like 3 years ago. They had 5 first round draft picks,
Well,
and
then you had Travis Frederick who got sick. He wasn't able to keep playing. Zach Martin was really trying to hang on, but he was playing hurt most of the time. La'el Collins got hurt. Tyron Smith is almost done. He's got back issues. I don't see how you could hold up at left tackle with back issues in that division. And Connor Williams is pretty good, but I think at some point soon they're going to have to start really looking at fixing or retooling that offensive line.
well, right now you got to stop people from scoring points, man. Take the DB and be done with it. Like, I'm sorry, you could throw it to CeeDee Lamb, you could throw it to Amari Cooper, you could throw it to Ezekiel, you could throw it to Tony Pollard.
I don't
like,
think their DBs are as bad as they have been advertised.
They got better.
And
as the
also,
year
too,
went
I
last
think
year.
their defensive coaching has been wildly inconsistent. And now Dan Quinn, and even though I didn't like him as a head coach, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So I think at that point you got to give him the opportunity to see what he can get out of what they already have.
I mean,
and
they
then
got
you
some
decide where
horses,
you wanna
man.
Go from there.
What is it? Randy Gregory's still there, right?
Yeah, they got a ton of pass
DeMarcus
rushers.
Lawrence. It's the linebackers
They're
that
gonna-
I love
look,
so much.
one of the
Jalen
things-
Smith, Leighton Van Der
One of the
Esch,
things-
and Basham.
And Sean Lee actually just retired. But one of
Yeah.
the things that I was talking to Troy about during the year, Dallas, they were playing a defense that did not fit any of their players. They were playing a 3-4 with a bunch of guys who run a 4-down
4-3,
set.
But
yeah.
mind you, though, Nolan,
Well, the way they got
Is way past
he
his
was
time.
fishing.
the way
when
they
he
have
got
their
hired.
depth chart set now, Steve, is set 4-3 though.
It is, exactly. And that's what Dan Quinn runs. He runs a version of the Pete Carroll cover 3, what Robert Saleh runs or is going to run now and with the Jets. Brandon Staley and Gus Brad. He runs what those guys run, and what do they need? They need pass rushers. Seattle's defense hasn't been what it is, not because they don't have talent, because they don't have any
pass
pass
rushers.
rushers.
Yep.
That's why it doesn't work. That defense needs a pass rush to work. If you don't have one, it won't be as effective.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Truth.
13 pick, 45th overall. Jaguars on the clock.
All right, so for the Jaguars, via I guess it was a trade between Minnesota, right? Am I right or wrong?
I'm sorry. What?
That's the guy I got him.
It said trade. I just didn't know who they trade with.
I think they traded with Minnesota. But anyway.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even.
Yeah,
I was-
this is actually the pick that they got back for Yannick Ngakoue.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I was too busy digging in the depth chart.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it is.
All right,
I don't
so-
know why I was digging in the depth chart. I remember this one because I was going crazy about DJ Chark. But go ahead.
Well, I stayed on the offensive side of the ball with them because they need it. And the person I picked was Jackson Carman at offensive tackle out of Clemson. I really feel like he's the type of lineman that can kind of give them what they need structural wise.
He ain't gonna start.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
No. I'm
They deep as hell at tackle, bro.
Well, they
like,
stole
they-
Jamar Taylor
They
last year.
they are deep at tackle. They
And that's
got
why, yeah.
4, 5. They got 7 tackles on this roster right now. They very deep at that position.
Does he have any
for
experience inside? They might.
no, I don't think
A lot of the guards in this year's draft, a lot of the offensive linemen in this year's draft have been combos.
Mm-hmm.
Where a lot of guys.
I don't think he
Center guard,
has
stuff
any
like- yeah.
experience inside. But I was thinking it might be too high of a pick. I was probably say to pick him now,
actually agree
but
with
just to put him in the camp and see what happens.
Yes.
I saw his tape and it just made me feel like this could be
Did you check see if he's a combo guard?
a good
first?
pick.
Who's that?
Jackson Carman.
Hold on, I'm doing-
Jackson Carman's a tackle.
Yeah.
He He hasn't played guard.
all the way through and
He's
through.
played a little guard, but he's
Not
mostly a
enough.
tackle.
Not enough.
Yeah,
That's why.
he's
Okay.
mostly a tackle.
All right. So I'd say it's one of those combo guys who had experience playing multiple positions, even though he's playing this.
Well,
li-
because
they-
he's at
He
almost
entered the draft
350.
as a guard, guys.
Yeah,
There
because
you
he's
go.
almost 350.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Tackle, no, but guard, because that's what I'm saying. Like, this draft is the first draft I can remember in many years where you had so many offensive linemen that have played multiple positions. Center guard, guard tackle. So there are a lot of guys you can move a lot of places. Now that pick makes sense if you're moving them to guard.
Yeah, especially because they have no backup center and they only have, 2 backup guards?
And actually, my pick is about the same.
You
Going
could-
offensive
you could
line.
merge them into it.
Yeah. Well,
They can act.
most of the time, I've talked to Troy about this a lot too. I
Don't do
always thought, seriously, I always thought
Giants did it.
that tackles who weren't able to cut it outside should always be
Move
moved
the
to
guard.
guard.
Absolutely.
But every
NFL
guard
teams
can't
don't
be
always
moved
do
to
that.
center.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Like center is a real specialized position.
Yeah, I have no idea how hard it is
But-
to get your hand back up after you
Yeah.
after you snap
Yeah,
that ball.
that-
It's
that's-
hard. It's hard. That's the
that's
hardest.
just-
It's hard to teach it on a
Exactly.
younger level.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It really is. Yeah, it's a skill. But I actually have them going Josh Myers, and from Ohio State, the guard, center guard, mostly because they need help inside, especially with Andrew Norwell being there. I do like their center, Linder, but I think Josh Myers being an Urban Meyer guy, being an Urban Meyer recruit, he
Over
plays
Ohio
2
State,
different
yeah.
positions. He's got elite size.
I keep forgetting that.
He's
yeah.
I think he probably would be the best fit in this situation
Okay.
for a team that just picked and this is the second offensive lineman I've got them taken in the second round.
They
but-
have to.
Yeah, they have to.
You have to protect that man.
You just took the guy who's been known as the #1 pick since he stepped foot on Clemson's campus.
Since freshman.
Since he was a freshman.
Since he was a freshman.
You got to do everything in your power to
To
protect
protect
that
him.
guy.
All right.
Everything.
Briggs, I don't think
I
you can
agree.
argue with any one of those. Yeah,
I got
was about
nothing.
to say,
I agree.
you guys, good. All right, let's keep it going. Patriots, 14th pick in the second round, 46 overall. G.
I mean, Bill Belichick is my idol, man. He is my idol. You know why? I loved him ever since he was a Giant.
Best game playing coach in the business.
Defensive coordinator for the Giants. Yeah, I mean, I'm just
All
saying.
right, let's stop with the bromance with Belichick.
I grew up with it. Grew up watching him, and I know he loves his linebackers.
Nobody cheat like him.
He loves his linebackers.
Yes, he does.
So
Listen, cheat or not, though, that man is by far the best NFL coach.
it may not be the best pick for the second round. I mean, you guys tell me. Like
Don't second guess yourself.
I'm just saying. You know, I mean, I'm very confident what I'm
Stand
saying.
your ground, damn it. Let's go.
I'm gonna stamp it right now. Nick Bolton out of Missouri.
He was a beast. No, he's a beast.
See, I done made Troy throw up. Look at that.
Nah, I like it, actually.
He's a beast.
I like it.
I got him going in the first. He's really good, man.
I like it.
He's a beast.
He's really good. And Belichick is he actually has that Gerard Mayo look.
Yeah.
You know why I love it so much,
loves
though?
that guy. I think he's their defensive coordinator, isn't he?
Who?
Gerard Mayo?
I think
He is.
coordinator
He
or
is.
one of the.
Yeah, I think he's their defensive coordinator.
He
right now.
worked for the team now.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
doubt.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
Belichick thinks he's going to be a head coach pretty soon.
I can see
you know,
Charlie doing the same thing.
smart linebackers like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I actually have the Pats going offense here because in the first round I actually had them taking Mac Jones.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I like your pick, G. Because like,
And I in the second round, this is where I have Rashad Bateman going. I think
Okay.
they need a
They give
guy.
him rest there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Bateman, while you can see the on-field speed, he didn't test that well. And a lot of times NFL teams get scared off by the guys that don't test well,
Even
even
with-
though they have. Look at Michael Thomas, Ohio State.
No, I feel that. I'm not.
You know what I mean?
It's like with this year, the only reason I'm shaking on that is with this year, and you weren't able to see anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wasn't able to visit. We didn't have the like Bricks always like to say, the underwear Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't see no drills, hand, all that other stuff. Let me measure his hand. Like, if he can grab it, it's the greatest thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of teams are going to take chances. I mean, I understand you have him here, but I don't see him falling.
Yeah, I
this
think that. Remember at the beginning, I was saying that there's a lot of guys who, because there's going to be a run in the first 15 picks, that are going to fall unnecessarily. I think Bateman is one of those
Wait,
guys
what's gonna be
that's
the
going to be
challenge?
unnecessarily falling because of the run in the first round on different positions. Like the wide receivers in the first round that are going, all of those guys are elite talents.
Yeah.
Bateman is kind of, he's good. I think he's still got the size,
Yes, he does.
and I think he'll be in a system in New England that'll actually help him more than it'll hurt him.
He's the best catcher, and he ain't
Yeah,
even on the team.
they already signed their two. Look, they already got
monsters?
they got 2 tight ends now. They went and signed Kendrick Bourne from the Niners. They got a couple of guys that can play. They need that, and I don't think N'Keal Harry is actually going to be long.
Too. The guy the name starts with an N. He played in
Nelson Aguilar.
Nelson
Yeah,
Aguilar,
yeah,
stretched the field.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think getting Bateman is like that.
That would be
That
a
possession,
steal of the draft.
that possession, reliable target that
Absolutely.
a quarterback would need. So
That
I
would
think
definitely be the steal of the draft. Bricks, arguments?
Nope.
All right, let's keep it going. 47th pick, 15 on the wall. We got the Chargers on the clock.
All right, for the Bolts,
Better be defense.
it's definitely defense.
Okay.
And
We
it,
need it.
he's a cornerback out of Central Florida. I went with Aaron Robinson.
Ain't that long, lengthy guy? He's like 6'3" or something like that?
Yep.
I just lost my whole list of prospects too. I
Yep.
had that stuff.
And that's
Sheesh, though. Is that the
the
guy's like 6'3" or something?
that's
yeah,
that-
he's one of the tall corners in the
yeah.
that's the main thing that attracted me to him for this pick.
There's a lot of those guys in this draft.
His wingspan, man. I mean, it's to me it was incredible. So
I think what's his name is the shortest cornerback in this draft, right? Is it Newsom at 6 feet?
No, Newsom's got great size, man. I think, and
Newsom's like what, 6'2"?
no, he's about 6 feet, 190 pounds. That's really good size for a corner.
Big guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
physically, like I mean, like weight wise, but
Yeah.
as far as height, he's the
Well,
shortest guy.
no, there's some 5'9" corners in this
Was it
draft
Samuel?
too.
Samuel's ain't the tallest one.
No, Samuel's about
6 feet?
5'10".
No, but I'm about to say he's definitely not as tall as his father.
No, but his senior wasn't but about 5'10".
No,
Yeah.
he's 6'1". I thought he was 6'1".
No, Asante Samuel was a 5'10" corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys out there right now. It's the Chargers. I actually had Surtain drop into the Chargers in the first
No
round.
way.
So
wow,
Wow.
what?
yeah. I got
Wow.
Surtain dropping to the Chargers in the first round because I got Jace Horn being the first corner off the board to Dallas.
I think I agree with you. I just thought the best safety in the game, and they need some back end help to
Yeah.
grab him. And that
Yeah.
guy, he's actually like a nickel back who can lay you out. He's still got the speed, so he's not like he was a pure safety. But I see that pick. I understand that.
Yeah.
Bricks.
And in the second, well, actually, no, I didn't take my second round pick for the
Oh,
Chargers.
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you initially.
So the second round, actually, I have them taking more defense,
Okay.
but I actually have them taking Javon Holland from Oregon. Now I like
It's a reach, ain't it?
no, I don't think so because I think what he does, he fits more so what Brandon Staley did in Los Angeles than the kid from TCU, Morig.
Okay.
Now, I think Morig is more of a 10 yards and in safety, 10 to 15 yards and in safety. I think Holland can play center field better than Morig can. And if you have him and Derwin James, I
It's a good
think,
combination.
along with Patrick Surtain, I think now you've rebuilt that defense. They already cut Kevin King. They don't have Casey Hayward anymore.
Right.
So they need to rebuild on that in the secondary.
All right. Bricks.
Rashad Weaver, Pitt. Look, this is another Rashawn Gary situation, right? Everybody all quiet, like, wait, why this motherfucker? All right, so it's another Rashawn Gary situation where, like, I feel like the kid has great edge tools for the most part. He is 6'4", he's 259, so he's that hybrid size guy, the ones that should actually be playing linebacker, but they put him down on the line of scrimmage to give him the speed advantage over the tackle. Right, yeah. So my reasoning behind it was more so the hell? I just lost his name. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's good. They Chargers still run a 4-3, right?
And Melvin Ingram's a free agent too.
Yes, there it is.
that's,
Thank you.
Great pick.
Even if you find a way to keep Ingram, well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you find a way to keep him,
He's gonna be
I
a
feel
steal
like
for somebody later
this
on.
kid could be good trade bait. If you find a way,
Well,
and if you don't, you still got this kid. I don't think he's ever going to give you big numbers. He's not going to give you 12 sack seasons. But what he will do is 6'4". What he will do is make sure that you have to honest block Joey Bosa and the rest of that defensive line.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all. Second round, that's great value in my opinion. Right?
Now,
Just
I agree.
make sure you got to block my great guys one-on-one.
All right, now Ingram will definitely get signed after the draft. It won't be before then.
Yeah, it'll
Definitely
definitely be after the draft. Like after teams have already gone through and see what they still need, there's going to be a team that's going to snatch him up,
Oh, yeah.
and he's going to play
He's
equally as well for them as he did for the
incentive
Chargers.
Contract,
Yeah,
but other than that, he'll definitely get picked up.
yeah.
All right, we got 48th pick Raiders, Vegas Raiders.
Vegas.
48. Jay,
All right. Went offensive guard with them in the second round. Wyatt Davis, out of Ohio State.
Replace Gabe Jackson.
I thought you used Wyatt Davis earlier in the second round.
I did.
Because I
I did.
remember. Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Okay, I was gonna say I remember talking about Wyatt Davis. Okay. My bad, G. My bad.
Yeah.
any defensive tackle help, but okay.
I mean, and I thought about the defensive line too. I know they kind of need it, but I mean, if he is available in this
No,
round,
he's a good guard.
yeah. I mean,
He's not like
I wouldn't pass it up if I was him.
All right. Steve.
Actually, this is where I have a lineman going, Deontay Brown,
Okay, so you're
Alabama.
lineman.
Yeah, because they traded Gabe Jackson to the Seahawks, so I think they probably are going to need. You got to have to fill that hole.
I
I think,
defensive tackle here for them.
and Gruden likes that power.
He
that
does.
power run. Those power
He's
run
old
schemes.
school.
And Brown is what 360 pounds. I mean, he's a road grader, man. That's classic.
You're gonna move some people.
Yeah, that's classic Raider pick right there.
Yep.
Briggs.
It's classic Raider football.
You get no argument for me. That's
I agree with
absolutely
you. Yeah,
a position they need to address. Either player.
All right. 49 overall. We have the Cardinals.
All right. Went defense with that pick. It's another name I gotta kind of take my time with.
Yo, stop it. Yo.
I'm being serious. Joseph Asai or Asai. Am I saying it right? Asai. OSSAI.
Yeah, Joseph Asai.
Out of Texas.
Texas, yeah.
He better be way gone. But if he's still available, great pick.
I don't think he'll be way gone.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think guys like him are going to be, like I said, remember,
It's gonna
Like
be
you said,
it's gonna be a sprinkle.
The sprinkle of guys who you thought should have went earlier are going to
Yeah,
go
'cause
in
of
this
the-
area
right,
right here.
right.
Yeah,
It's a good
definitely.
pick. He's talented.
Very talented.
This is actually where I have Michael Carter going. Now, what's funny is that I like Javonte Williams more, but I think Michael Carter fits what Arizona is doing more than Williams does. You can't really count on James Conner because, look, he's a good player,
Right.
but what did he give Pittsburgh the last?
You said it right.
Couple of
He's a
years.
good player.
But that's it. You lost Kenyon Drake. Chase Edmonds he's a decent player, but
Right. He's not gonna.
he's not going to be he's not going to be that guy. I think Michael Carter gives them the home run hitter that they don't have back there, and he's a pass catcher that they don't have back there.
Well, let's go
That's-
back to year before last when Drake first got there.
Yeah.
And they went ape crap
Yeah.
because you already had those monsters before you added Devon. The
Kenyon
wide
Drake.
receiver.
Oh, you talking about DeAndre Hopkins,
right.
yeah. And now you
then
got AJ
Drake
Green.
wasn't what he was the year prior.
Exactly.
So if you do bring in a guy that can actually bring what he did when he first got there, that offense would be really freaking scary. So
Yeah.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
I like that pick. Briggs.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna have to fall in line with the gentleman.
All right. 50th overall. Like the Dolphins had 500 picks in the first couple of rounds already.
And they're gonna do it again next season.
Same.
Boy, it's scary.
I got them a nice shiny toy. We just spoke his name just seconds ago. For their pick, I picked Javonte Williams out of North Carolina.
That would be real good for them.
You know what's crazy? That's a 2 for 2. I got them going back-to-back picks. I got Javonte Williams going to Miami.
You got
That's
him
Yeah.
He's exactly what they need.
That is scary.
He's exactly what they need.
Exactly
That
what they need.
between the tackles, Pounder, and then
Gosh.
you got Matt Breida backing him up. That
Now,
guy
Breida-
that can get up the field in 5 seconds or less.
They
Like
could
yeah.
still being punished for
Yeah.
fumbling against the Jets.
And then not only that, but two, I think this needs to be said about Tua. He needs a real scheme around. He can't be the guy that breaks the scheme to make plays.
He's not that player.
He's not that
He's
kind
not
of
that
player. And I think they thought he was when he was at Alabama, but he's proven in the NFL he needs the scheme to work.
Yeah.
He needs the players to get into that scheme to work for him. And then he can get better. And then maybe later he can be that guy you win because of and not in spite of.
All right. I mean,
You know what I'm
him going to them is dangerous
Yeah.
because they already have a nice offense. They need a
Yeah.
running back badly.
Yeah, they need
Yeah,
a bell
you-
cow in the worst way.
Yes.
If you could get a guy that you can hand it off to, well, nowadays you say 17 to 20 times. Before it was 25 to 30.
Yeah.
But now 17, 20 times a game, you can catch a couple of passes. Look, if he can make the other team make a business decision once or twice a game,
Right.
that's what you're looking for.
Because he
right
wouldn't have
there.
made he wouldn't have made it past the Bills. I'll
No,
tell you that right
yeah,
now.
I agree.
He wouldn't have made it past the Bills because as good as that team is, if they can get a solid running back, nobody's stopping them.
That was a problem with Devin Singletary. I actually think Devin Singletary had the same problem I think Etienne has this year, only he had more. I think he had 400 carries one year at FAU, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
bricks. Yeah.
It might have been close to 400 carries he had. I mean, Lane Kiffin ran him into the ground.
Which player are we talking about?
Devin
Sorry.
Singletary.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah, he had a lot of carries at FAU. And if you notice, in the NFL, he has a lot of nagging injuries.
Yeah.
Wait, lying.
And that's the result of guys who
Being overrun.
being
Okay, I see what you're
overrun.
saying.
And that's why I think Etienne, you can't invest too much into a guy like that if you're not sure if he can hold up for the 4-year period.
Bricks.
Devin Singletary had 301 attempts in 2017.
261 the next year?
Yep, 261 the year after.
562 carries in 2 years?
A
And you
total of
play a 10-game
714
season? 12-game
carries.
season?
Yeah, that's a lot of.
That's a lot of
that's a lot of
carries,
touches,
man.
Good point.
And I didn't even tell you that he also caught the ball out the backfield too. So you can add those as touches because Steve said touches. So very close. It's like 352 touches in 2017.
That's a lot.
Talking about 900 touches.
That's a lot.
And they're 1,000. Shit.
That's a lot for a guy that's really not that big. I mean, 5'9" and
Not
200
5'9",
is stocky.
200. Yeah.
It's good size,
Yeah.
but
me.
for 350 touches in a college season,
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I agree with
And now it's showing up in the NFL. Like him and Zach Moss can't stay healthy.
No, at all. That's why I
Yeah.
said if he was able to fall to Buffalo, you could just sew it up. They're definitely going to the chip. All right, 51, we have the Washington team.
All right, so with the F
Washington
team,
team.
I went offensive. For their pick. Their offensive line is pretty pretty good. Well, I mean, I would say overall they're good. They don't really need a lot of tweaking with it, but I would say for some depth or a little somewhat of part of a rotation. The pick that I picked for them is oh shit, what happened?
Don't tell me you can't pronounce his name. Spell it.
Nah, you know my phone messed up, bro.
I mean,
Yo, I don't know what happened over here, but my entire reference list that I was using to get quick numbers just gone.
just book.
Oh man.
So I'm thrown off too now.
All right, so I got you. Walker Little, offensive tackle from out of Stanford.
He's a guard. Why is all these guys labeled tackles?
I have no idea.
He was a.
But he was a tackle
swing.
at one point.
He was a swing.
But he could do both though.
He's a guard.
But depending on what team he goes to, you could probably. I mean, it depends.
Washington, he's going in.
But this is what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. Like they don't really need. They don't really need like to have anybody.
Keep him at tackle? Okay.
They don't really need to have anybody replaced or whatever like that. But for the fact that he can play either position or either side, I think it's a win-win for them.
I think this pick is either tackle or linebacker. I actually have them taking a linebacker.
Okay.
This is where I have Jabril Cox going. I think for Washington, and I'm gonna toot my own horn here. I said the day after the Super Bowl when the 49ers lost to the Chiefs, the Washington football team was going to win the NFC East in 2020. And they won.
Damn it.
And the reason why. The reason why though. First of all, I thought that the whole division would have a down year, but even if they didn't, I thought that they had the best defensive line.
Sick.
Probably
sweat. Oh man.
I mean, when you have Ryan Kerrigan
stop sleeping
coming
on
off the
Deron
bench,
Payne and John Allen too, man.
you know what I'm saying? When you have Ryan Kerrigan
Everybody
coming
knows
off the
Montez
bench,
Sweat and Chase
you know
Young.
what I'm saying? Ryan Kerrigan is an 11 sack a year guy.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he was coming off the bench.
You know who else comes off that bench? Matt Ioannidis.
And
That's an
guys
8 or 9
who
sack
should
guy a
be
year.
Starting elsewhere, coming off the bench. Now you get a linebacker that can go sideline to sideline behind those four. That's easy right there.
Well, what's name already?
Because John Bostic ain't it.
Yeah,
What's
no,
name
not at
already
all.
showed you the blueprint. And we're talking about Tampa when they drafted that man who could run a 4.2.
But you know what? Tampa had
Christmas trees.
in just the same way. Tampa had already worked on their defensive line before they drafted Devin White.
Yeah.
And then they already had Levante Davis, so that made it even better.
Devin White so far, by far, outplayed Levante David. It was weird to see because you know what you got with Levante David.
Yeah, but David is an off-the-ball guy. Devin White will take on guards.
Oh, my gosh.
He's a different cat. he just is, man. You see them arms?
I'm with Wimbo here. Jabril Cox, absolutely. No disrespect to my man Bostic. I think he had a stellar early career. He just ain't it for right now. For what that defensive line could do. I'm not even. I was actually perusing trying to see if I could find a faster linebacker than Cox, but then like the first two guys I saw that was faster than Cox can't tackle. Like it sucks because it happens. A lot of times when you're really fast like that, you're not in body control. Right, so you just bounce right off a guy.
Alexander is a perfect example.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're not in body control, you can't make the tackle. So it's got to be Cox here. They should probably in the draft in this position. If I was them, I'd try to trade Bostic. No, I'll try to trade Bostic right then and there, and draft Cox and see if I could
keep him and just create competition. Best man
Like
win,
you said,
next man go.
You already got a massive rotation.
Well, I think Bostic could win it though.
Yeah.
Just the experience alone, the ins and outs, the craftiness. You know, you're gonna beat the rookie. Like you got a crazy advantage there. Get something for Bostic while you can, because in 2 seasons I don't think he's gonna be worth a bag of footballs. So
I
do
agree
it now.
with that.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Chicago 52, 20th pick.
All right, with a quarterback for them.
Oh shit, which one?
Oh, Davis Mills out of Stanford.
I think you reading off this website I got over here.
How?
That was just saying. I was like, that's exactly what it said. And I was looking at it. I don't like Davis Mills this much. I just don't. Like I'm staring at it. I'm like, I don't know. Let's see what they say. Because I'm trying not to make picks here. It's like, does it make sense? Does it not? Let's elaborate. That's all I'm really doing.
Davis Mills is one of those guys that he's either you like him or you love him or you want nothing to do with him. And so 10 teams in the NFL are going to want nothing to do with him. 10 teams are going to like him. 10 teams are going to love him. And it really just depends on where you are.
If you were going to reach, would you have to?
Yeah.
Because my arm is stronger than your quarterback's. So
I don't know if
and
you gotta
Dalton,
reach.
to me, and we said this on Monday, he's not the answer.
He's not the answer, but let me ask you a question. Was he really Dallas's problem last year?
No. Coaching
And,
was
and,
Dallas'
and,
problem
and that's
last
exactly
year.
how he got to Chicago now.
Yeah.
By not being
He
Dallas's
wasn't
problem.
Dallas's problem last year.
Not at
and
all.
really, if you think about it, he really wasn't Cincinnati's problem in his last couple of years there either.
No,
It's coaching.
Coaching.
Yeah. So it's not like he's this.
but he ain't your answer.
No, he's not the answer. But he's one of them
He's a
guys
stopgap.
where, yeah,
That's-
you
he a
wouldn't be
stopgap,
mad if
Steve.
you had to go through a year and a half with him.
He a
So,
stopgap.
yeah, but
So I would say, oh, I'm sorry,
so-
you didn't go
no,
yet.
So right now, I think for them, they really need to get that defense back where it needs to be to support them. This is actually where I have Kayla Farley going. Now, the reason why I think, because they lost Kyle Fuller,
Right.
that's a big loss for them.
Yes, it is.
And I think to offset what you have in the front seven, because Akeem Hicks is gone too. So, like, they're going to have to really start doing some retooling with this defense. And I think for them, they're really going to have to get that secondary under control first. Because Khalil Mack is a one-man show.
Yeah.
Like, you got him up there, you're good. But you need to start fixing that secondary, and I think that's the place where they'll have to
Did
start.
coach get fired before week 7?
You think so?
That
I don't think he ever should have been hired.
The fact that they
No,
lost
you're right.
the players that they already have, and within the draft, because I don't think Farley's going to fall this far. I understand,
Yeah.
but they need help bad, and that's why
Yeah.
on Monday I was telling Bricks I gave them some help in the backfield, but I think they.
What do you mean, running back?
No, I gave them a corner.
Oh, and defensive. Yeah.
I gave them, let's see, who was the Bears' 20th pick? I gave them
Richie Grant.
Richie Grant, right. Which, I mean, it'll help them out. But I see them getting blown out in many games.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, when the greatest thing about having a good pass rush is you make the quarterback get rid of the ball a lot sooner. But with the kind of wide receivers that I'll be going against that secondary, it ain't going to be hard to get open. So,
And right there at that point, with a player like Farley, if he's healthy, you
Right.
got to steal. If he's not, you can sell it as, oh, well, we took a chance.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
that's here.
Yeah.
You take that and you smile and you pray that
Yeah.
back is healed up.
That's why in the first
running.
round, in the first round, I had him going offensive line because I figured that's why I said I don't think Dalton was really that much of the problem. I think fixing the offensive line for them will help. Losing Kyle Long hurt. They haven't really replaced him. I think Vera Tucker probably will fix that. But after that, they got to start fixing that defense.
All right, breaks.
I for whatever reason, I feel like it's just too early to take a quarterback for them. I guess I understand the logic of taking the quarterback, but definitely not that quarterback. I was thinking more like Jamie Newman. But this is a preference thing. You know, Steve said it best. Either you love or you hate Mills. I'm on the hate side of that. You know, if it had to be that black and white. If you're going to take the quarterback, I say take Jamie Newman. I think you get better value. Jamie Newman killed himself by not playing football this past season because while everybody knew what he did at Wake Forest was very positive on a team that wasn't really built to compete, and was that the ACC? To go down to Georgia was his opportunity to say, listen, give me a competitive team and I could win. And then he was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to play. The opt-out thing, though, to me, I don't want nobody to misunderstand me. The opt-out thing to me was player empowerment, and I believe that they had the right to do it. I feel like scholarship athletes give away their talent for 4 years in exchange for bumps and bruises and a possibility at millions. A possibility. But you're going to get the bumps and bruises. The life-changing injury can happen. Eric LeGrand, every time I see that man, my heart hurts that they thought that his ability to walk and live normal was worth a college degree. That costs about $100,000. And they make over $7 billion in all these sports off these kids.
My bad.
Oh, man. Somebody's wife calling
Living
him.
on the farm.
So I was cool with the opt-out. I'm fine with players having a chance to say, like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing this. I feel like they should have Well, the name, image, and likeness thing is coming, so I'm digressing. But the reality of the matter is, he didn't play. He killed himself. I think that if he would have played for Georgia in 2020, he wouldn't be available right now.
I think, you know what, just to piggyback on that, I think it really does depend on the talent level. Penei Sewell didn't play either. You already know that's probably going to be all pro left tackle.
That's true, but that's why I said it killed Jaylen
But
Newman.
yeah,
I ain't
so
saying
some
nobody else.
guys do get killed by that decision. Not that you don't understand it, but if you knew that you were on the fence, I don't think it was a good idea for you to opt out, knowing that you were going into the draft the following year. Guys like Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, you can do that and know that you'll still be in the top 10 when you come out.
I don't think Jamie Newman thought he was on the fence. Like, I honestly thought that he thought he was definitely a first or second round pick. And I mean, I believe he could be a second round pick. I will not be surprised if he's not. That's why I don't know that the Bears really need to do this right now. You're saying that they're going to have to start to rebuild that defense. You could start it right now in the second round.
Yeah.
Right here, smack in the middle of the second round.
That's exactly why I gave him Farley, because I think at
Shane
this
Buechele will be around there. You could keep frowning your face every time I say Shane Buechele's name, but that's my dog right there. Shane is what's his name? Shane Falco from The Replacements. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the thing about it is, you give him a good coach, and you teach him that quicksand ain't the worst thing in the world.
No, not
he
Buechele.
good.
No, that wasn't Buechele. I was talking about Ellinger.
Oh, Ellinger,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Shane Buechele,
Shane Buechele's a decent player.
He
I like
is,
him.
and he
It's gonna
suffers
really
from
depend on where
from
he
quicksand. Exactly, he suffers from quicksand. When things start going bad for him, they get terrible.
Yeah.
But let him get a couple deep passes and start feeling good about himself. He'll throw for 400 yards on you.
Different story.
So why Mills is really all right? Let's move on because I went too long.
All right, 53. We got the Titans.
All right. For the Titans, you said 53?
Yes, sir.
All right. I went on a defense with cornerback Elijah Molden out of Washington.
It's another one of those players that suffered from playing in the Pacific Northwest. This is a decent spot for him.
Yes.
This is a decent spot for him. Decent. I can see him going here or literally next round. Like anywhere between now and then. So
Definitely. I mean, yeah, and the way just like you just said, he's definitely not a first round, pick or whatever. But
He's talented.
he's talented and he can fit in. He actually kind of fits. In my opinion, fits the need for them.
I think he's like overall super like athletic, but he's talented.
This is where I have Rondell Moore going.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The only reason why I think you might be right is because after Monday night, right, I decided to, we had to start digging deeper into the eligible draft prospects to be ready for tonight, right?
Right.
And I started to see the knock on Rondell Moore. And the only problem that I have with it is the same thing that they knocking this man for, nobody's mentioning about Devontae Smith for. Like, Rondell Moore is what, 13 pounds lighter? I'm sorry.
Devontae Smith?
Yeah.
Well, Devontae Smith is also 6 inches taller.
So?
Okay.
He don't weigh nothing.
Okay, wait a minute.
You could be as tall as you want. When you know what?
Wait a minute.
Your height gonna hurt you when you get popped in the ribs, stretching over the middle.
Barry Sanders was 5'7", 205 pounds. A.J. Green is 6'4", 205 pounds. Do those look like the same player? Oh, that's where the difference is right there.
But AJ
that's
looks
why
thin. AJ taller.
Yeah.
So when Devontae Smith
AJ's
do like
taller.
this
and
get hit right here,
but the problem
he
is
done for the rest of the game.
But
That
Devontae Smith doesn't have elite height. He has average height. And he's 165 pounds soaking wet.
Soaking wet with his uniform on.
And that's why I actually have him dropping. I got him going to Miami.
I just don't understand why Rondell Moore for being 5'9". Come on, man. He's what, 13, 14 pounds heavier than than the lightest kid in the draft.
He would have been better going to the Saints.
Who's that?
Rondell Moore?
Yeah.
For what? Drew Brees gone?
No, I'm just saying the fact that they can use somebody like that.
Nah,
I think Tennessee actually needs somebody like that.
I think Rondell Moore would have been great with the Saints if Drew Brees was still there.
You know why Tennessee Rondell Moore, I think, would be a great asset to Tennessee because what you could do with Moore is sort of like what the Saints do with Traquan Smith the 49ers do with Deebo Samuel, the Packers used to do with Randall Cobb. You can move him around. He doesn't have to be in one spot. He could play inside, outside. You could line him up in the backfield. He doesn't have to block for you, but you could create mismatches for him all over the place. That's what Tennessee is really missing if you think about it. They had Corey Davis and Brown, then they had Henry, all guys with elite size and ability, but where's the in-between guy, the gadget player, the guy that can make the mismatch on the defense? Like, where is that?
Right.
That's what Rondale Moore, I think, would bring to the Tennessee offense at this point.
Okay.
Good point. Good point. Riggs. All right. Keep it going. 54th, 23rd, 22nd overall. We got the Colts, who already have a massive offensive line. Who y'all got them picking, fellas?
All right. I went on defensive edge. Well, he's a defensive edge rusher. Out of Oklahoma. Damn it.
I was about to say
That's my other draft crush. I know who he was about to say, too.
Ronnie Perkins.
Ronnie Perkins. That boy is a beast.
Beast.
He is a
Beast mode.
Didn't he play tackle and
He
edge?
played if Ed Oliver had a couple more inches in height, he would have been Ronnie Perkins. Ed Oliver is one of the best interior rushers I've seen come out in like the last 5-10 years. He is really good, but he's short. That's the problem. So he has to play in a position where his leverage can hold up.
If you could put him with a 4-3, he'll
Yeah,
dominate. But a
Ronnie
3-4,
Perkins is that kind of player, man. He is.
I mean, in my
good.
opinion, he can plug in right away.
He's good. Yeah.
I mean,
right
second
away.
round, he better start.
Right away, he can plug in.
Yeah, he
Steve.
can. Yeah, actually, I have the Colts going offense. This is where I have Amon-Ra St. Brown going from USC. Now, the reason why I do this is because you have T.Y., you got Michael Pittman. Now, their tight ends they go by committee, but their tight ends are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem is that they don't have that third guy that if you have to take out T.Y. or if T.Y. gets hurt, then you're running at what they have been doing before. Like Zach Pascal actually started to come through,
Yeah, I
but he
was
was
about to say
very
Pascal,
inconsistent.
and then the other
But
guy
Pascal
shot.
was inconsistent, though.
Okay.
You know, if Pascal dropped a couple of passes in that Bills game. He actually didn't play it all as well as you want him. Now, he made some big plays. He didn't make as many as you wanted him to. Do you want to go into another year hoping to get more consistency, or do you want to create more competition so you bring out the best in everybody? If you could add another, and St. Brown's not an elite talent, but he's good enough to be a number 2 or 3, and at the mid to end of the second round, I don't think you really go wrong with getting a number 2 receiver there.
Okay. So it's kind of like a third round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fate Riggs.
I mean, Steve's pick shocked me, but I mean, I think he explained it well. So I don't want to waste no more time. So we go on.
All right. Here we go. 5-5. We got the Steelers. 23rd overall.
I stayed on the offensive side of the ball.
Give him a kicker, man. Come on.
Nah, man. Kickers don't get picked until like the 6th, 7th round. I'm playing.
We still picking kickers? Last time I remember a kicker getting picked was what? A Colquitt, right? Wasn't Colquitt was a Mr. Irrelevant, wasn't he? I think it was Colquitt. I don't know. But go ahead, G.
Well, I stayed on the offensive line. Now I don't know if this is a swing lineman. I think he's a swing lineman. You know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. He's out of Oklahoma, and he goes by the name of Creed Humphrey.
It's defense.
No.
No,
Creed
offensive
Humphrey's a
lineman.
center. Yeah, I thought everybody used them.
I
Yesterday.
used him in the first round. I don't
went in
think
the first
you
round.
used him.
I didn't use him.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, I think you put him to the Jets.
I didn't use him at all. He's not a swing lineman at all.
Yeah, he is. He's a guard.
a
He's
swing
gonna play
lineman,
center.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Truth didn't use him.
No, I didn't use it.
Yeah, you didn't. You used him yesterday. Truth didn't use him yesterday.
I used him yesterday.
Not yesterday. Monday.
Monday.
No, he did. Yeah, he did.
I did.
Yeah,
You gave him to the Jets
To the
at
Jets,
23.
23.
I see. You know what? 'Cause I didn't. That's why I need my book.
No more hookahs for you.
Man, But I
it's
mean,
hard to remember. That's why I made.
Yeah,
That's why I
it's
made
like,
this
you
spreadsheet.
did-
Like
you did make
I'm
the
sorry, but
spreadsheet.
I
'cause
watched this
my
whole
mind-
thing over again just to make sure I got everybody's pick right because
Right.
it's hard to remember.
My mind went off. What team were we on?
We're on the
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
I'm sorry. Pardon me.
5-5.
But yeah.
but what you think about the pick though? I mean, if that
Well,
was
Humphrey,
yeah,
he's gonna be long gone.
He will be.
That guy is one of the elite interior.
I think he's like the
prospects.
I think he like the second or third overall interior line
I would be
prospect.
like, I
is,
think he would be like the maybe 19th, 20th.
I don't even know about that league. In all honesty, I think I said that Monday when G said it. I was like, I think he'd be long.
Believe it
gone
or
by
not,
then.
it's funny because I did not have a defensive tackle
I
going.
could see a team taking Creed Humphrey not even needing a center to try to package up and do something later. Like
the
it's,
Jets,
you don't
the
walk
Jets
past him.
believe in McGovern so much that they wouldn't touch him.
Well, the
center?
thing is, I gotta tell you something to expect as a Jets fan because you guys have coaches that came from San Francisco. The tackles are the most important part of the offense. The guards, the tackles, and the center. The guards are interchangeable. Now, if you can find a good one that's reliable and that can stay with you, cool. But don't expect to be spending high money, high dollars in free agency or high round picks on guards throughout this tenure.
That's why I said
Now,
it-
Joe Douglas might do it
The
if the
34
guy
was
is good
perfect spot
enough.
to do it,
Yeah. Now, if you had another Quentin Nelson, yeah, Joe Douglas will take that.
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody
That's
would.
rare.
But
He was out.
yeah.
That is the pick
Yeah.
that we gave away, and that's why I think the guy from Alabama will be perfect at 34 because he can play either guard position.
I got you. Well, in this one with the Steelers, this is my first defensive tackle.
Oh snap!
This is Christian Barmore, Alabama, right here. Now,
He'll last that long?
well, here's the thing.
He can. He's got
the defensive tackles this year are not in the elite quality that Derek Brown and Kinlaw were in last year.
yeah, but he's also
Barmore is
got
really
issues.
good. He's got issues, and he was a 1-year guy.
He was a 1-year guy. He's got
And that's the
personality
problem.
issues
Yeah,
on top of it.
And
He
that's
could
the
very
problem.
well be
and
there.
that's why I think a team like Pittsburgh would work for Barmore because I think one of the unspoken things for guys who have personality issues coming out, especially the young black kids, getting with a guy like Mike Tomlin will probably change your life.
Yep.
So
How
I
much
think
does he weigh?
who Barmore?
Yeah.
He about 290, 295. You can see the thing with
That'll
Barmore.
work in a 3-4.
Well, the thing is that he's got the
I mean, he can play the
frame.
outside.
He's got the frame to add about 15 pounds to
He's
play the nose.
310. Well, he's listed at 310.
Yeah, he's been between like 295 and 310 in his
he
whole
fits a
career.
3-4, so
He
it makes
fits a
sense.
3-4,
Absolutely.
so he can play the 5 tech,
Yeah.
and he can play the
He can play
0.
either one. Yeah,
He-
yeah,
so he can do either
Okay,
one,
makes
and then
sense.
So
Yeah.
then you have Casey Hayward, and they just lost Alu. So
No, he didn't.
They did get him back.
Yep, they got him back. I don't know what happened. He said yeah to Jacksonville and then never signed and came back.
Wow, that's surprising. Well, even still, I'll be honest with you. If Christian Barmore is right, he's a better player. So I don't think you can go wrong with adding to the defensive line at
No, I'm
this
saying
point.
that's what my main thing is like his size. As long as he has that.
Yeah, he's got excellent size.
Like
His height,
310,
he's just
290
under
or
6'5".
whatever it is.
He's just under 6'5", about
That's
300
perfect for a
pounds. Yeah,
3-4 defense.
yeah.
Really?
Like you said,
He
trouble.
is.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Steeler fan, Steve. So don't get this smoke. Tyson Alu was literally the best interior D lineman without the stats this season. This man, hands in quarterback faces, pushing over double team blocks. He changed so many plays for that Steeler defense.
Understood.
Damn near by himself.
Understood.
You're not telling me a rookie's going to come in and do it better.
Alu was a top 10 pick 11 years ago.
It was 11 years ago.
He's on the wrong side of 30. So now you get a guy who's got better size, who's got better quickness, comes from a program where they already run that defense.
Yeah.
You don't really have the waiting period
Yeah,
you
no
would
kind of
have.
transitions,
No
learning
trans. The learning curve is right there.
Okay.
He's already run the defense. He's already comfortable running all 3 positions. I don't really see where you go wrong with that one.
I'm not saying that they go wrong with it. I'm trying to find out what
Well,
that
Casey Hayward isn't young
that
anymore.
Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward, I'm sorry.
he's
Cam-
like what?
You,
Why did I keep
Casey
saying
Hampton
Casey
because you was thinking
Casey
Casey Hampton.
Hampton.
Because
That's
we're
what I'm
talking about a
thinking of,
nose
right?
in the Steelers
Yeah.
defense.
He's what,
yeah.
33, 34?
Who's that? Hayward
Tyson
Camp-
Alu?
Hayward.
I think he's 30.
Hayward
30.
just turned 30, I
Maybe-
believe.
I think he's 30.
right?
Yeah. But Alu is almost mid-30s.
33.
Yeah, and you're not getting any younger. You just lost Bud Dupree. You need some defensive
I'm
line
just
help.
trying to figure out what contract, how long that contract was he signed when he came back. I think it was just a 1 year. So you
Well,
think
a lot of guys are
Bar-
getting 1 year deals.
You think Barmore will be basically waiting in the wings that
Yeah.
they get Tyson going to be the stopgap?
Yeah, which is how they normally do it. When they draft guys out of the first round, they normally
it's their norm.
yeah. They develop third, fourth round picks, and then all of a sudden 2 years later, you're seeing these guys starting, and they're keeping the train rolling like it's nothing.
Okay, now. Bricks, no arguments. It's your team.
I mean, I got tons of arguments, but the thing about it is, my Steelers, they need to fix the I guess the age difference on the team, because the Steelers go from really young to really old with no middle, right. There's no middle veterans there. So like I can understand why Steve would want to get a nose tackle. I know
It's a good one, especially because a great rotation. You wouldn't lose anything at all.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I by far we absolutely need a center. But I would rather address that in the first round.
I think the good ones are gone by the time you guys pick here.
They,
You gotta get,
It's
you
like
gotta-
one
you
more
gotta get
out.
Humphrey in the first round. Then.
Landon should be there. Alabama center Landon.
Okay.
I think he's going in the
Dickinson.
first round too.
Yeah, but I think he could fall to Pittsburgh. He could. I'm keeping hope
Pittsburgh picks
alive.
at what, 22, something
Yeah.
like that in the first
Yeah.
round? No, 24.
24. 22, 24, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I
Either
got
way.
Dickerson going to Green Bay. So yeah, you might be right.
He could. I personally feel like this is that area for that running back. Who's left. At that particular point
You would take a stab here.
in the second round. Yeah, I mean the
So you
Steelers
got
have
him
had.
taking the center in the first round and the running back in the second.
That's what I would like to see, contrary to popular belief.
Okay.
All right, 24 pick in the second round, 56 overall. Seattle, y'all guys got me defensive players here, man. That is atrocious. So take out there.
I mean, yeah, they do need help defensively, especially on the defensive line. But I stayed on the offensive side of the ball with this. I took a stab at this, and I'm very confident in the pick. He's a offensive tackle out of Clemson. I think a lot of these picks I've been picking. I love tackles.
He's got a lot of combos in this draft, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, and the thing about it though is that I really feel like it's a good fit. So the person I picked is Jackson Carmen out of Clemson.
Steve, you used him a few picks ago, Steve.
Jackson, no, he actually used him already.
That wasn't you.
I haven't used him yet.
I used it in the first round.
No, this
it's
round.
This round. Somebody used him. I don't know who
Oh
it was.
no, I didn't use him.
Because I remember searching his height and weight for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really I don't.
Nah,
even think
I
it's a
didn't
debate
use
on
him in
where
the second
Seattle
round.
Needs to go in this. If
They
they don't
pass rush.
if they don't draft an offensive lineman, I don't really think they need to show up for the rest of the draft. I mean,
Well, I mean, what's his name's running for his life for the past 10 years.
for the
Why
past since
stop
he's
it
been
now?
drafted.
Yeah, why stop it now?
I mean, but at this point, he's older.
He's older.
He's not going to be able to be Captain Marvel for you every year. And look, that's the one. Russell Wilson, and I say this, he's my favorite player in the league, and I'm a Niner fan, but he is the ultimate equalizer. Everything that you try to do, he has a counter for. Every single thing that you try to do, he is Mr. Magic. He can bring you back from 21 down in the fourth. He does everything. But you need to get him an offensive line.
Agreed.
So I got Trey Smith from Tennessee going here.
That's a good pick.
I think they traded for Gabe Jackson already. You still got Dwayne Brown. You need to keep building that offensive line. Like I don't
That's
think
a good
that you
pick. He's
stop.
talented.
Yeah, I don't think you stop.
They got
At
nothing
one.
behind Dwayne
Yeah.
Brown too.
I
So
think his
at all.
size is the thing that kind of probably would bring some here.
You
Not
talking
the
about
biggest. Trey Smith. He's not
Trey
the
Smith,
biggest.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not the biggest, but they also run a zone blocking scheme. But Trey Smith actually is pretty. He's pretty big. He could stand to probably lose a little bit of weight actually at 330. So it's not bad, but it's not horrible either. Gabe Jackson
his
isn't a
height?
small guy. He's about 6'5", 6'6".
Okay, I'm probably thinking of a different player.
You know what?
There was a player that was good at. It was a couple of them that was pretty good at run blocking, but not good at pass blocking. But he's a guard. So, okay.
Yeah,
I want to say earlier on in Russell's career, the offensive line was
yeah, and
Pretty
then
good.
they traded it for Mr. Softy.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
They gave an All-Pro center to the Saints
Yes.
for Jimmy Graham, a player that they didn't even need,
Facts.
and they haven't been the same since.
Because
That's what you
they
got
called
to be
themselves
careful
helping
playing
out
GM. You gotta
Russell
take it
Wilson.
from him.
Yeah.
You gotta take your GM away from him.
Give him a target and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Bricks.
Yeah, no beef.
All right, 57. Rams.
Got the Rams
They need.
still on the offensive side for me, and I believe he is a swing tackle. I mean, not swing tackle, but a swing lineman. His name is Kendrick Green. Did I say it right? Kendrick Green. My phone was messed up. Out of Illinois.
No arguments.
I think it's a need.
Go ahead, Wimbo.
You about to say something?
Well, I wanted to hear what you was gonna say first.
Oh, the Rams are interesting, man, because they don't really have a lot for the next couple of years, like in the way of draft picks. So whatever they do, they've got to hit on them.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to hit big.
Okay.
And I think at this point, right now, after losing Troy Hill, lost John Johnson, I think you got to go in the for DB here. So Sean Wade from Ohio State probably is the best fit opposite Jalen Ramsey right now. And I think you need to rebuild that secondary, get them back to where they were. Because really the Rams actually, they blew a lot of games the last 2 years getting beat deep.
Yeah.
So if you got a chance to fix that, go on ahead and fix it.
All right, Bricks.
I don't understand how either one of you didn't acknowledge the age of Andrew Whitworth and a young quarterback.
Young quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, Matthew Stafford?
Well, not young. I'm sorry. You're right.
Look, I think,
Look, I don't know why I was thinking Chargers when I said young quarterback, but
yeah, Los Angeles.
yeah, that's what it was. Andrew Whitworth is older than my grandfather, and you trying to win now.
And he's still better than 80% of the left tackles in the league.
Yeah, 80. Okay.
You know?
But the thing is, though, if you don't win this year, which I doubt they will,
I doubt they will too.
you're gonna need somebody next year. I don't know that. Come on, if Father Time beats everybody, it's gonna catch Whitworth before it catch Brady.
For a team that literally does not have a first-round draft pick until 2025 and has even probably less mid-round picks than that, I think at this point you are not drafting for the future. You are drafting for guys that can help you right now. Sean Wade helps you right now. I don't think a left tackle that can't start over Whitworth doesn't help you right now.
All right,
They don't have enough draft picks to pick guys for depth.
I said good point. Let's move on.
I got you.
You feel me?
56, man.
I got
KC. We got any more toys for
They better not be looking for toys. They better be looking
58?
for some stability. Bro, them offensive linemen was on skates.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I don't care about toys. I need a wall.
I went defense on this one. Picked the corner out of Kentucky, Kelvin Joseph.
I'm sorry, say
Eh.
that again. I missed it.
Yeah.
Y'all got me up past my
Kevin
bedtime.
Joseph.
Kelvin Joseph.
Did you hear me yawn just now? That was like the third one.
Kelvin Joseph
Talking football, man. We having fun.
out of Kentucky.
Quarterback. Yeah. I think they still need another offensive lineman.
Absolutely. I'm
enough
with
of
truth
them.
on that.
I'm
Can't
sorry.
have enough
You
of
said who needs another offensive line?
KC.
KC.
They need like 40
Well, they
of
just
them.
got
Well,
Orlando Brown.
they got 2 picks in this round.
They
got
just
40 of 'em.
they just paid Joe Thuney.
I don't know how they
That
pay
is
those
true. They
things.
got 2 picks in this. Okay.
Oh, that's right. They get the doctor back too.
Okay.
They don't. Yeah, they might not need another
they
lineman.
don't- yeah,
What's his
yeah.
name? Duvernay, whatever.
Duvernay.
Yeah, the
something.
doctor. Yeah. He's coming back. He just
Yeah, he'll
opted out
be
for
back.
COVID. There's
Eric-
nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
About
He
that.
decided to go
Yeah.
back to Canada to help with COVID.
Yeah.
They're like, so he's perfectly healthy, nice
Yeah.
rustic body.
And they're talking about re-signing Eric Fisher. So really, I don't think they'll
I
have an
stand
issue.
here and I shuts up.
Yeah, I don't think they have a.
Well,
real-
they might just add one for the hell of it. Who
No.
knows?
I still don't like their defensive line too much though.
They got one player, and he's disruptive as I don't know.
Who's that? Oh, you talking about Chris Jones?
Yeah.
Frank Clark is a beast.
I was about to say too.
Yeah.
I was like, how you go to
Frank
Chris
Clark
Jones
is
without
a
going to
beast.
Frank Clark?
It
Like
depends. It depends on who's on the other side.
Frank Clark on the other side.
Like,
Look, Chris Jones is on the
disappeared.
left side and Frank Clark's on the right side.
A couple of games. So if it was a slower kind of not elite tackle,
Oh, truth, stop, man. You about to get this smoke.
Nah.
hey, baby.
You don't know who behind Frank Clark? The young, exciting, and just waiting to develop Taco Charlton. Come on, man. Like they you look, they all right, but I'm just saying they could grab another one. Like I mean, I think they can. I don't love it, but it's not like
This is where I have Joseph Asai going.
really.
Even though you don't really have a lot of room on that defensive line, but if you get a kid like that and you can start him opposite Frank Clark and then bookend that with Chris Jones or whoever else they want to put down there.
Got time to let him develop.
Yeah, and they signed Jerron Reed from Seattle, so I think you finish that off with a guy like Asai.
I just feel like
That's a good point.
it's like Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna stand them up. I don't think they're gonna put them down there. Like KC don't really utilize the edge position. They do.
Pressure comes from in the middle.
Yeah, they do hand on the ground defensive ends.
How you
Like
figure that? Spags always utilizes that.
I didn't see it.
He didn't do
I
that
mean,
much last year.
I was gonna say I didn't.
that's
I didn't
because they didn't
How
have
you
the
figure
horses.
that? Because I ain't see it. Like,
But they didn't have the horses though. You only have Frank Clark rushing the passer. Passanio is really a 3-4 defensive lineman. 6'7", 300 pounds. He's not a 4-3.
even if they stood him up though, he could beat Willie Gay out.
yeah.
I know that.
I mean, he's not much smaller than Kiwanuka
No,
when
he's
they
not.
had him in New York.
yeah.
Matthias,
He was pretty much the same size player. So and Kiwanuka was a linebacker at Boston College,
Mm-hmm.
and they moved
They
him to
converted him to defensive end.
defensive end.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's about the same kind of player that you're looking at right there with the same defensive coordinator. Yeah, that can work.
All right, let's keep it moving. 59, got the Browns.
No, I mean, I think I used this player already. I'm not sure.
This will be the third time you did that this round. You need your notebook.
I need my. I can't. I wasn't home and I was doing the show on the fly.
I know,
man.
yeah, it was hard. But from Monday to Wednesday, it was crazy because you only got Tuesday.
Yeah.
That was it.
And I'm like, damn, my head started hurting. So I
You
just
got
started,
Trevor Lawrence going to the Browns.
it could happen.
Ain't nobody taking Baker Mayfield for no
Yeah,
damn
you know
Trevor
what I'm
Lawrence.
saying? What you got, G?
All right, so I mean, if I use it already, forgive me, but it's I don't know if it a need for me to put this person here.
Okay.
So it's the Browns pick. He's a defensive lineman out of Washington. Levi,
Won't be there.
don't know his last name.
Won't be there.
Levi
Last name.
Onwuzurike.
Oh my God, I love the names, bro.
Onwuzurike.
Yeah, you had him mid first round.
Yeah.
He won't be there.
I had him, didn't I?
No. Truth had him mid first
There's
round.
no way in hell. he will.
I knew somebody, but I thought I picked him. All right.
Actually, I think he will.
You think he is
Yeah.
big and strong and fat? That man literally ran down a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will.
Oh
I got.
But,
him
oh
going
my
later,
God,
but I
I
think
I
he
can't, I
will.
can't argue.
Can you
the
picture
pro-
it? Can you picture it?
Nah,
Well,
I mean,
He
look,
won't be there.
but
Oh no.
you know, because
if
this year
anything,
is so weird.
The Patriots would grab him.
This
You
year
didn't
is so
use him,
weird.
G.
I
No,
did.
he didn't use him.
I did.
Yeah,
You did not.
Truth used him. Yeah,
Truth was the only one to use him.
it's just it's a weird year,
Truth,
man.
You had him 16, bro. Like
It's gonna be teams. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
There are gonna be teams that are gonna be picking starters in the fourth round.
Yep.
No, I mean,
I believe it.
agree with you,
I
but
believe
A
it.
guy of that
You don't always get it.
power, strength, and speed.
You
to
won't
fall?
always get. Why Alvin Kamara went in the third?
Well, that was
He had
crazy.
no business going in the third round if you watch Tennessee.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why he went in the third round because he played at Tennessee.
Yeah, he never
That's
played
what it
there.
was.
He never played in Tennessee.
Who?
Alvin
What are you
Kamara,
talking
yeah,
about?
he
He
did.
did.
He absolutely
What are you
played.
talking about? He started. The
Absolutely
problem
played.
was he lost every week 37-7.
Okay.
He had the only touchdown
But
every
if you
week.
actually watch Tennessee, there would be no reason why he should have lasted to the third
They were
round.
trash.
Yeah.
Yo,
You know what
Alvin
I'm saying?
Kamara
But-
was the only reason to watch Tennessee for 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Literally the only reason.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys who fall into that.
They was actually
category,
worried
like,
about the tread on
you
him
just-
too. You know
yeah,
that
yeah.
because
But
Tennessee
the
had
thing-
nothing but him.
But the thing was, is that was his first year really, really getting the bulk of the carries. That's
Right.
why he slipped by that whole too much tread on the tires thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I'm sorry, what's the team again? I apologize.
Browns.
We're
Cleveland.
talking about the Browns. For the Browns, I'm not necessarily certain that signing Clowney was the be all end all of their pass rush
It was stupid.
rebuild. I think he is the biggest.
I mean, he's a one.
Man, talk about Mr. Robbing the check, man.
He's a
I mean,
one-one.
he's like
Oh, they
He
don't know
had-
about that. I never
he had-
used that with them
he
before.
had, man, he had one good game in 2 years, and that was that Monday night game against San Fran. He had a year's worth of production in one game, and that's the last good game that he played.
I mean, if you really want to be hypercritical, you could go back to college. In all honesty, he was really only good for like two
Yeah,
explosive plays a
that's what I'm
game.
saying.
That's all it was.
That's all
The
it
problem
was.
is when you
That-
saw the
that Michigan
explosion.
game was really what got him there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
That hit
But the
was
thing
so
about it
bad.
was when you saw the two plays let you know that whenever he decides, he can do that. The problem is he never decides he wants to do it.
That's the thing. He
Yeah.
ain't got no
Yeah.
motor.
Yeah.
Oh, he got a motor. His motor is his check, the check.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's what Steve
His
mean by
motor.
robbing a check. Like, yo, you
I
can,
done gave him
he
100
just like
games.
Kirk Cousins, somebody
Oh,
else too.
man.
Just robbing a check, man. Like, yo, Sam Bradford. That's what I was thinking of. How you keep getting paid like this and not producing?
If
Yo,
Doug
Jadeveon
Wilson
Clowney was
is-
ready to sit out all through camp until somebody gave him what he wanted to get paid, and he got his money.
he was-
And what you're buying, is 17 games this season. So what you're buying is 34 plays. You're buying 34 plays. That's if you get that many.
That's an expensive
That's right.
check.
So we talking about roughly $2.1 million per play that he's actually gonna make that changes a game for you. Just complete. It was stupid.
Until he gets hurt.
Nobody.
Way too
The
much
way
to
they
pay.
blackballed Kaepernick, they could have blackballed his ass. He'd have brought him right
Yeah.
back down to his $5 million that he deserved. That dude deserves $5 million a season.
But yeah, I got them going for a pass rusher here. This is where I actually have Jason Oweh from Penn State
Okay.
going. Last year they took but Gross Matos went to Carolina on day 2. I think this is a similar situation. Not a super flashy player, very solid, very consistent. Yeah, and those kind of players go on day 2 in the second round.
All right, number 60. I'm sorry, Briggs. You got any rebuttal on this?
No, I was just gonna throw in there like I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to steal a third wide receiver here.
I thought about that too.
Guy
but-
is a guy
because-
that's still around.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you could really trust
Rashard
OBJ
Higgins. Oh, OBJ. Okay.
anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's just been too hot and cold for him since he went to Cleveland.
It has, but I mean, as long as he healthy, they're gonna line him up at the
Yeah.
at the X, and then they're gonna have
Yeah,
Jarvis Landry over at the Y. I think they might steal a Z
yeah.
right here.
Donovan Peoples-Jones actually was a pretty good pick for them in the 7th last year.
Yeah, he
too.
really was. He really was. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a possibility that they could try and snag a third receiver.
All right, 60. Got the Saints here.
I got a wide receiver for them out of LSU, Terrence Marshall.
Marshall Jr. That was I think my last one of my last picks.
Yeah.
My last pick was
31st,
the,
Baltimore.
31st. Yeah, Baltimore.
There's another guy I want to compare him to. Lord have mercy.
Terrence Marshall.
No, yeah.
Marshall, truth, we had a whole conversation about Marshall
It was
last
him.
night. I mean Monday
Okay,
night.
It was him. Okay.
Yeah, the one who you was like, wait, as soon as you said LSU, I knew I had his.
Yeah, I had him going in the first round
wish he
to
would.
Jacksonville.
If he falls here, to
I mean,
Yeah.
if he's here, man, that's like a
if he
perfect
falls
Yeah.
here
match in
today,
heaven for them, man.
you can't get that man another weapon like that.
Give what man another weapon like that?
Breeze is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the coach?
No,
Peyton.
you know what?
Yo,
Let me.
Here's the thing.
since
I
we're-
think what's the name would be starting by before week 7.
Who?
Um,
Not Taysom Hill?
no.
James
Oh,
Winston?
listen, man.
What's the other guy named?
Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Jamin Winston. be
Listen,
starting.
I just said
They
that.
stole a 10-year quarterback from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They stole him.
James Winston will be starting by week 7.
They stole him. Sean Payton with Jameis Winston.
You get that man all those weapons that they got and hell, one of the greatest check downs in the game right now.
He won't be throwing no picks. I'll
James
tell
got
you
to
that.
throw the
Listen.
check down.
For
With
a
Peyton,
guy,
3 years under Peyton to
for
learn.
for a guy that has similar numbers to Peyton Manning through their first 5
That's the
years,
freak he did.
probably
Yes,
better
he did.
numbers than Peyton
I don't
actually.
know about that. He
I
probably
think
had
they
like-
were slightly
he probably
better.
had 400 more interceptions than Peyton.
No, they actually
Yeah, I know.
he threw less.
He did.
I
He threw less. That was the
I
crazy part.
defended him a lot though because a lot of those picks wasn't really his fault. I mean,
Well,
I
you
mean,
know
I-
what?
I-
You know
When
what part of
continue
that
to
too?
Force the ball down the field.
No,
Well,
part of
bro-
that too, man. That's Bruce Arians, man.
Yeah.
Every quarterback, their
Trying to
first year
force the
under
ball down the
Arians
field.
has problems. Brady had problems the first 11 weeks of the season.
yes,
didn't
he
get it till
did.
late.
He didn't get it until late,
Yeah.
and that's only because Brady's
He's Brady.
probably he's Brady.
He's Brady.
So that's what it is. But normally Arians doesn't have good success with quarterbacks the first year.
No.
So
Briggs. I'm sorry, Steve. You made your pick?
for the Saints,
Yeah.
actually, no, I didn't. But
Yeah, you didn't.
what I will do for them is I actually want to give them a defensive lineman, and this is where I have your Washington guy going.
Really?
Yes, this is where I have Onwuzurike going. Yeah.
That defense?
Yeah.
gonna
How'd
get
you say his
Give
name?
him another weapon?
Onwuzurike?
God damn it! What the hell did I say?
Call him Levi.
It wasn't that.
Damn sure wasn't that.
That
They
defense can't afford
they just
another
lost
man.
Sheldon Rankins.
Yes, they did.
You know they lost Trey Hendrickson. They got a lot of
He'll fit that team.
yeah, he'll
I
fit
mean,
that team,
yeah.
and I think they really need to rebuild that defense. And I actually had them going defense in the first round, I believe.
Okay.
Who'd you have him picking?
I had them picking Nick Bolton.
Really?
Wow. Well,
Yeah, because they need an impact linebacker.
Okay.
Well, that's the one with the speed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Missouri. Yeah, and I think getting a linebacker and then replacing Rankins and Hendrickson and just starting to rebuild that defensive line with Cam Jordan, I think that's probably the way to
Okay,
go.
nice. Briggs.
Yeah, I got no beef, man. I got no beef.
Let's keep
I
it
done
going.
moved on to the next pick.
I mean, should we just skip him? Because, like, who the fuck are you going to put on the team? All right, we got 61. We got the Bills.
This was a hard one for me, man.
Bro, it's been hard with the Bills since the first round. It's gonna be hard.
Man.
I say this.
They got little like leaks in the dam, bro. Like
you
really
give
small
them-
ones that you could fill with a pencil eraser.
True, you're gonna like this. Hold on, you're gonna like this. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, G.
I picked the edge rusher out of Pittsburgh, Rashad Weaver.
Won't be there. That's one guy that won't
Didn't I just say it was hard for me, man?
Now,
I think Weaver could be there. Though.
I winged it though. I
I
winged
wasn't
it.
so. Remember when Steve used him, I said why not Twyman? So like,
no, you used them. I think I used.
Oh,
I used Patrick Jones.
no, I said
what you picked?
no, I said
No.
I wanted Twyman over Weaver.
Oh, well,
Oh.
you know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But for the Bills, truth, this is your pick right here.
Let's go.
This is where I have Travis Etienne going.
Really?
So,
Because I was about to say, if they don't pick running back,
So-
and running back.
so I think at this point, you can get away with taking
Absolutely.
Etienne right
I
here.
don't want to see him, but
You
yeah,
don't, yeah.
it'd be
You
a
can
good
get
pick.
away with it with taking a guy with a little bit of tread on the tires that you could put in a platoon for
And
a
you
little
won't
bit,
have to- you won't
and
have
you
to
won't
rush
have to
him.
run him. You won't have to
Won't
rush
run
him. You
I
won't
think
have to
he'll
give him
take over maybe
250
7,
carries.
Week 7, week 8.
Exactly.
Because you couldn't keep that
look,
talent
and,
on the field, off the field for
and
so
just
long.
like I told Troy last year, look at what happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire after Week 8.
Facts.
He fell off a cliff.
No,
That was Andy's fault.
He
though.
was you, but he
Andy
was
out of
used too much.
nowhere. No, Andy out of nowhere in week 7 just said, "Oh, I think we should lighten the load."
Yeah, 'cause
What
he was getting
load?
25 carries a night.
If you,
But it was
you're a
working, though.
exactly.
It was working.
At his size, with the pounding he was taking, the way Andy Reid likes to run the ball, he wasn't going to hold up with that.
It showed. 'Cause they
Exactly, and they suffered.
suffered.
Yeah, and they started to slow him down, and and Kansas City's run game started to suffer. But if you could get Etienne at this spot, I think you got to call that a win.
That's
That'd be a steal.
that's
All
a,
the
that's
way
a
through.
good 1-2 punch too with him and
Yeah.
That's the steal. Bricks.
Singletary.
That's the thing though. So I feel like it's a gift and a curse because you're buying the same thing you already have, right? You got Singletary back there. You're gonna buy the same player. The gift in it is that you don't have to break any consistency. You don't have to change your play call, right? When you switch them over. The curse is you don't change anything on the defense either. Mm-hmm. You don't confuse them in any way. You don't make them adjust to anything because you got two of the same guy. So we can move on. I don't have a problem with the pick. I'm just saying look at both sides of it, right?
I think Etienne is still a better pure runner than Singletary, though.
I'll give you that.
He's better than Singletary all the way around.
Yeah, he's a better pure runner. So at that point, I think you're going to be able to run a little bit more traditional just because
it's a lot. It's easy to say that when Travis Etienne is running against Duke and Wake Forest. It's another thing when he get up to the big boy level and got to run against New England's defense, Miami's defense, and whatever the Jets could trot out there.
No, Jets defensive line ain't no joke though.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
About their team.
Hey, that's a
Really
five.
good.
That's a 5-on-4 matchup, bro. If they touch him, you got an argument. If they don't, what you got?
Yeah.
All right.
True.
Who we got?
62. We got the Green Bay Packers. It better be a wide receiver.
Nope, this is a tight end.
Tight end?
Yes. I mean,
What tight end?
I'm about to tell you right now. Pat Freemuth. Freemuth out of Penn State.
I really like that tight end. I don't think he's gonna be there.
Would.
I hope he's not there.
I mean,
let me just say that. It's not that I don't think he won't be there. I hope he's not there.
And that's the thing because I mean I know we all agree that that this is like definitely a first round pick. Maybe not in the top 10, but certain like in the mid.
Holes aren't there for tight ends in the first round. Is really what it is.
And that's
like
what I was
teams who
looking at.
need tight ends actually really don't exist. The one team that's gonna take a tight end is gonna be because you cannot say no to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
That's how that's gonna go. Nobody actually is at the top looking for a tight end.
And this would be this would be a great weapon for Rodgers in a way. I mean, because the dude can block, the dude can pass. In the pass game can catch. I think it's a win-win for them. I mean, if he's there, I mean, a lot of people.
If he falls there, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because you give Rodgers a tight end, which they already have though. With what's the guy that came on late?
Oh, that's the other Rodgers, right?
Tunyon.
Oh, Tunyon. Okay, you're right.
Now he did have a little nicks or whatever, but when he was healthy, that boy was unstoppable.
Right.
Actually, I got Green Bay taking another Rodgers, Amari Rodgers, Clemson wide receiver. Now,
that's what I say.
Yeah. Now, this Amari Rodgers he's one of those. He reminds me a lot of Greg Jennings, but he has better size. He's built a lot better. He's like thicker. He's a lot more stocky. He's about the same speed. Jennings might have been a little bit faster, but I don't think you need speed as much as you need consistency in this offense right now. You need more consistency than speed.
I agree.
Opposite Adams. And by the way, can we kind of like get rid of this notion that Green Bay has never given Aaron Rodgers any weapons? Who was Greg Jennings? Who was James Jones? Who was Jordy Nelson? Who was Devontae Adams? I mean, Randall Cobb. Come on, man. They sit up there and talk about, oh, well, you don't take a first-round wide. Who cares? All these guys. Jordy Nelson was a top 5 to 10 wide receiver for years.
Every year.
Greg Jennings was great. James Jones all he did was catch touchdowns. I mean,
that was Chris Carter.
No, I'm seriously.
All he did is catch touchdowns. That was Chris Carter.
Donald Driver was there when
Donald Driver was there like long time. But I mean, even still, since then they've given him nothing but weapons. I don't understand where that whole talk comes from. I really don't. But I will give them a wide receiver here.
Okay.
Briggs.
No real argument. If you remember, I gave them Freiermuth in the first round. That's exactly who I put him. I put him with the Packers in the first round. So yeah, from my perspective, yeah.
All right, so we got two more. Let's get it with KC's second pick in the second round.
All right, so on the offensive ball with this one. Now this was my first round pick with the Giants. I switched it. I ain't there no more with it now. So
So you went from a guy being picked 11th and all the way to the 63rd.
I mean, I
Jeez, that's a hell of a
I
change.
mean, Rashawn Slater. I don't know. Offensive tackle out of Northwestern.
Oh, that's what you were saying earlier. When you was like, it comes
Yeah.
full circle. Oh, okay.
Oh man, that guy might be gone before you even cut on the TV to watch the draft.
He
man.
might. But
Yeah,
I mean, I had to plug the hole. But I'm saying like it's still
A guy who
not a bad pick. If
a guy
he's
who's
there.
315 pounds and runs a 4.67 is not going to last very long at offensive tackle.
Nah.
Yeah, it's that I think he's going to be long
Who you got, Steve?
gone by then. I got Elijah Moore in this spot.
This late?
I think Kansas City, because I think his.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. I gotta stop you.
His lack of size is going to.
Who did you just give to Green Bay?
Me?
Yeah, you did. You just gave Green Bay a wide receiver. The previous pick.
Yeah,
Who was that wide receiver?
Amari Rodgers.
And you think Amari Rodgers is a better wide receiver than Elijah Moore?
I think he fits Green Bay what Green Bay does better.
Oh,
than-
the scheme. Okay, all right.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
than Elijah
Okay.
Moore does.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. See, Kansas City.
I was about to go in,
Kansas-
right?
if you look at Kansas
Set
City,
up and everything.
yeah, they got Miko
I've been half
Hardman.
asleep for half this
who-
round. Like,
Miko Hartman is not anybody you want to rely on to play wide receiver for you on a full-time basis.
watch your mouth.
I like him, but he's not.
Watch your mouth.
They
You're a
lost
Georgia
Sammy
guy.
Watkins.
Don't get me to start
DeMarcus
picking apart
Rob-
mission guys.
The DeMarcus Robinson is not reliable.
No, he not.
You need a reliable second option for Tyreek Hill. And
Oh,
I don't-
gosh. Why do everybody talk about Tyreek Hill like Tyreek Hill's a complete wide receiver?
He's not a.
He does
complete-
two things. He will run past you and then he'll run under you. That's it. Wide receiver screen, 9 route. Wide receiver screen, 9 route.
He's very good.
Get a real wide receiver, bro. Get somebody who can run some flag routes, some drags. Come on.
What did Randy Moss run?
Well, Randy Moss ran 9
nines and
routes.
slants.
Yeah. Well, slants require some cojones.
Not when
'Cause
you
when Ray
6'4"
Lewis
and
can-
can run past everybody.
I don't
As
know,
soon as
man.
you catch that- did
I
you
seen
not see-
him get clocked sometimes coming across with that slant.
And that's why he
Your,
didn't run the
your
slant very
own
much.
boy
He
Jerry
ran the
Rice
nine.
wouldn't run the slant for that reason.
What you talking about?
Jerry Rice ain't
West
run no
Coast
slant.
offense is built around the slant pass.
Jerry Rice ran the slant first 3 years in the league. He stopped right after that. Stop it. Don't even.
No.
Show
we ain't got time.
Show
to
me
go through all this.
27-year-old Jerry Rice running the slant.
True. Pull up the 95 game against Dallas. San Francisco.
Look how Truth looking
Dallas.
at you. He like, what?
49,
He don't even know.
49ers Cowboys, 1995. Elvis Gerbach was starting.
Was that a playoff game?
No, it was a regular season game. This is 1995. Jerry Rice was drafted when? 85?
Yeah.
10th year in the league. Man's already 30 years old. San Francisco versus Dallas. 49ers versus Cowboys. You put this up on the screen. Matter of fact,
What year was it? 1995?
you can put Jerry Rice 80-yard touchdown versus Cowboys.
That might have been like an October or November
It was
game.
it was an October game.
See if I can
In
download
San
it.
Francisco, right?
It was in Dallas.
It was in Dallas.
You can YouTube it. It's right up there.
Let's
Put
see if
it-
I can download it real quick. and
Put
see.
it right big on the screen.
They gave me
everybody
the
can
first
see.
13 plays.
And that's all you need to see. That's all you need. You know why? Because they went up 21-0 in that game, just like they did in the championship game the year before.
That's
Against
what,
the
that's
Chargers?
the game I was thinking of before.
Bro,
All right.
you got it up there, Drew?
I'm trying to download
He
it.
would have to actually download the
Okay,
video.
yeah, it won't take very
and then
long
put
because
up there.
it's only a couple minutes.
Keep it going.
Diving at Deion's feet. Is this what I'm supposed to be looking at?
No.
They
You'll see it.
They
You'll see
fought
it in
every
a second.
game.
You'll see it in a second.
Every
It's
time
like
they fought
13
each other,
plays
they
from
fought.
scrimmage, or
You can do that one because that's going to show you. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the play right here. Sure is.
That's a slant.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a slant. That's a hard slant, too.
You damn
He
right
took
it
3
was.
steps. He planted that right foot, went left, and went for a
was
touchdown.
Gone.
Okay.
all right,
All
let's
right,
keep
he
it going.
wins.
And
was
got up
He
and,
wins.
and he got up and did the goat walk.
and was gone. But yeah, I think Kansas City does need to solidify wide receiver though. That's one of the, if you remember Andy Reid in Philly, that was one of the hardest positions he was able to fill. He was never able to find with T.O.
No, it was with the white boy, but he said the N-word, and that ended that.
Riley Cooper. That wasn't it.
Riley Cooper wasn't it.
He was that nice little.
He was a good stopgap. Yeah, he was a good stopgap, but he wasn't it.
Andy Reid only had T.O. Remember what was they Trash and Stinkston?
Mm-hmm.
Todd Pinkston. Speaking of Devontae Smith, that's who he reminds me of. Todd Pinkston.
Okay.
The super skinny outside guy who has the speed, has the hands, but I don't know if he'd make it going up against linebackers and safeties. That's who he reminds me of. So we got one left?
Yep, last one.
Last pick, the team that doesn't need anything because they brought everyone back, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're gonna go. They're gonna pick up Trey Smith, offensive guard out of my phone died.
Tennessee. Yeah, I think I gave him to Seattle earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, a plug in need, or you know, I mean, he can go now.
They just re-signed Antonio Brown.
I'm sorry, what's his name? Whose name is
Trey Smith.
Oh. Yeah, they just re-signed Antonio Brown. I think they're
for a bag of chips.
Yeah, they're going to be all right, man.
I mean,
actually, $6 million in a bag of chips.
They brought everybody. Yeah, damn it, that is a slant. Yeah, he's gone. I'm sorry.
You just saw it.
Yeah, that shit was like he literally. Oh, he got tripped up at the end, but yeah. I mean, they brought everyone back. I mean, if any team was going to reach for a quarterback, I think it should be them here. Reach. Even a kid who opted out. Something just to have to play under Brady 1 year, and if he doesn't work out, it doesn't make any difference.
Right.
They got a couple decent quarterbacks next year.
True story. All
right, Steve.
So for Tampa, all right, I'm gonna throw the curveball at you because I said don't be surprised. Monday I said don't be surprised if 32 is where the Jets trade back up to. Okay. I think this is with the first trade that I'm gonna say. And I think the Jets are going to try to get back into the first and second round as much as they can. But I think the Jets are going to trade into this pick.
What? Okay, so I understand what you're saying. But here's the Jets have the 66 pick. So we're right back at the same situation.
So what you do is that you guarantee yourself and you don't pay as high of a premium as you would be moving back into the first round. So now you can. So
he's absolutely right.
So
look,
now
Tampa Bay just keeps backing up 2 picks.
That's it.
They're not losing nothing.
They're not losing anything, and now
the Jets gain everything.
Going from 66 to 64, you could get away with giving away that throwaway compensatory pick, because Tampa's not going to be asking for much, going from the second to the third.
Step back.
Yeah, not from the second. Now, from the first to the second, you're gonna have a little problem.
Okay.
But from the second to the third, you won't have as much problem.
Okay.
Right there.
He's right.
Wow.
He's right.
I didn't even think of that.
So since you have that, who do you think the Jets are going to target?
I think this is where the Jets take another offensive lineman. Right here, and this is where I have your boy going, Jackson Carman. Okay. Now, it's weird because he's bigger than the typical zone blocking offensive lineman. But that's what Clemson did a lot, too. And he did it at a high level. And he did it as Trevor Lawrence's blindside protector. Mm-hmm. So if you can get away with playing left tackle at 340 pounds at Clemson running that zone scheme for a team, now nobody's taking Mekhi Becton's spot. No. That's not happening. Not happening. But I think they can.
As long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, as long as he stays healthy. But I think this is where you get a guy who you can play at either guard. And actually, I think you probably play him at right tackle, because I think that kid that they drafted, I don't want to say it was last year, but the year before, Adoga.
Yeah, no.
I think he's better at guard.
Yes.
I think you move him inside the guard, you got something.
I still want to see what Cameron can do.
Yeah,
size.
And I think you get Cameron and you put 2 bookend tackles out there. And you just you go forward and you let it run.
Briggs.
It's hard to argue when somebody talking about a trade. So I can't argue. If the Jets were to trade into the 68th pick, or 64th pick. Sorry,
64th, right?
If they trade
from the
this
66, move up,
from
move
66
spots.
to 68. I think it's a win-win for both teams. And I do think that Steve is right in grabbing an offensive lineman. Who'd you draft? Oh no, you did the
Trey,
pick
yeah.
for Tampa.
I mean, it makes sense because even in the third round, you have Jacksonville in front of you, and they need offensive help. So I understand.
And you never know. And even if they get 2 offensive linemen with the first 4 picks, they might figure, well, we're going to solidify this whole thing. And maybe take another one at 65.
So true.
You don't know.
You the resident Jet fan, right? So this question is for you.
Yes, sir.
Blake Cashman and Gerard Davis.
I love him.
Which one?
Blake Cashman.
Okay. What about Truth?
Love him.
Truth, how you feeling about your outside linebackers?
I'm still unsure what they're going to do with Johnson, the guy they just picked up from Detroit.
What?
Talking about Jared Davis?
Yeah, Davis. There you go.
Where is he? Yeah.
I mean, he does have speed. He's not the greatest coverer in the world, but I think if you're going to get it outside, I would take it. I wouldn't have any arguments with it at all.
Georgia got a linebacker named Monty Rice. A little bit of a combo guy. He's got one of those tweener bodies, so he probably could play outside and inside. But we know he ain't going inside with C.J. Mosley. That's C.J. Mosley world,
Right.
all day. So if
Unless
the Jets,
they trade him after or during the draft.
why would you trade C.J. Mosley?
I don't know.
Because
I mean, the fact he hasn't played in 2 years and that contract.
not just that he hasn't played in 2 years, but C.J. Mosley is a better fit for a 3-4.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not a fit. He's
He
not.
was he always was a 3-4 linebacker.
Yeah, and he is no longer that sideline to sideline guy. That's what you need in that defense.
So
and
my
Robert Saleh's defense.
My Steelers should go after him?
That would
see
actually
that
be
trade.
yeah.
That would
I
be a
could
good
see
trade.
that. I could absolutely
Put him
see
next to
that.
Devin Bush?
Yeah, I could absolutely see that.
Actually, that'd be scary. No, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. No. But
I
no,
mean,
I would do
well, what player are you getting back after 2 years off, though? I mean, so it might
No, I
not
mean,
be
yeah.
scary, but I
that's
think the
why his
Steelers,
value's
one of the
down.
Steelers, right? I think that's why one of the Steelers' biggest problems is putting somebody next to Devin Bush. 'Cause right now, they brought back Vince Williams, right? Robert Spillane played his life away when Devin Bush first got hurt until Robert Spillane got hurt. So, like, well, what I would have loved to see was Devin Bush next to Ryan Shazier. However, there's no way that happens if Ryan Shazier doesn't have a career in the injury because they would never look to trade up for another linebacker, right?
Right.
So, the Steelers' defense is of the vaulted history of defense actually always had better middle linebacker play than the esteemed outside linebacker play, right? Everybody loved to bring up all of the edge rushes that the Steelers had for years and years. It worked so well because nobody could run up the middle. They always had a 320-pound,
LeVon
300,
Kirkland.
right, 320-pound
Area.
nose tackle who kept offensive linemen off those linebackers,
Yeah.
and you had nothing but a yard, 2.5 yards maybe, tops every time you tried to go there. So your quarterback became a sitting duck, and they killed you around the edge, right?
And then they always had a safety, a strong safety that came down
Always.
into the box too.
Yep. And that's what we don't have because Terrell Edmonds ain't it. I don't really know what that's going to be.
2 or 3 good safeties.
Defense is definitely a lot different
in the
than it
draft.
was.
Minka Fitzpatrick is a free safety. He's Ryan
And
Clark.
a damn good one at that.
He is. But he's to us what Ryan Clark was when Ryan Clark was back there with Troy Polamalu. So if the Jets were to trade into 64, right, from 66 into 64,
Right.
what do you think the Steelers would have to give the Jets to get C.J. Mosley out of there?
At least
Probably a
fourth
day
rounder.
3 pick.
What?
Mid-day
At least
3
a
pick.
fourth rounder. Because I'm looking at it now because I kind of
No,
figured you were going
because
to go there.
at $17.5 million a year, if Teddy Bridgewater's going for a 6, C.J. Mosley ain't going for much more.
Well, coming to
No,
Pittsburgh, he
it-
going to have to
it's
rework
that's
that contract.
different. That's
Pittsburgh still ain't got no money.
That was
They only got the
different.
draft.
Yeah.
What is it? How does that work? The draft exemption
Yeah.
savings.
Yeah.
It's not a cap.
Yeah. No, it's a savings
It's
for
an
the
account.
draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to pay.
You
those
gotta
players.
put aside a certain amount in your salary cap for the draft picks.
And that's all they have, other than some scraps. They got a few $100,000 maybe
Which is
from the
why-
rework.
I mean, outside, like you said, outside linebacker. I mean, me personally, if we don't come away with 2 corners and 2 offensive linemen, I'm gonna be pissed.
For the Jets?
Yes.
I wanna know why
Okay,
he went
let me
corners.
ask you a question. You got a possible number 1 corner for a fifth-round pick.
He is.
Okay. Bless Austin was their
He's a
best
safety.
player.
He's a safety.
He was their best player in the secondary before Bryce Hall was healthy enough to play. Bless Austin actually saved their secondary
No,
before
I
Bryce
like
Hall
him.
was healthy enough to
I
play.
just think he's more of a safety.
Well, not really, because in this defense, with the zone, the cover 3,
You
you,
ain't lying. He
need
fits it-
tall,
he fits it
rangy.
perfectly.
Yes,
He
you
fits
need
it
tall,
perfect, and
rangy
he loves
corners,
to tackle.
And-
And he loves to tackle.
and that's what you need. That scheme fit. You don't have 2 better corners. You could not have inherited 2 better corners for a scheme fit than the
can't argue
Jets
with you.
have right now.
Now, Bryce is a monster. He showed that when he was healthy.
Yeah,
Like I said, we got a gift.
yeah.
Him falling because his injury. And we got another gift with Austin Davis falling. So
I mean, the defense is going to be fine.
yes.
True,
They
you about to
need
get
to
this
fix
smoke.
that
You better
offense.
leave him. You better leave Steve alone.
They need to
I'm
fix
saying
that
here-
offense.
I'm sitting here looking at Bryce Hall and Bless Austin. Like, first of all, you realize that you got 6'1" bookend corners. You know how hard that is to
Yeah,
get.
that's very hard to
I
find.
love
And then-
Austin.
For them,
and then
for,
you
for
have
them to
2
be able to
interchangeable
range.
safeties.
Right. I love Austin. I truly, you ain't lying.
The biggest problem with your corners is they make too many
Yeah.
damn tackles. That's the problem.
Yes.
Right? So too many tackles from a corner, in my opinion, only signifies 1 or 2 things, right? Your linebackers, especially particularly outside linebackers, suck, or
Which they did.
they just they allow
I
catches,
mean,
but
Jordan
they make
Jenkins
tackles.
was okay, but he
wasn't.
he was okay, but he's not somebody you play in the 3-4. You need to put his hand in the ground
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
let
I
him
would-
go
I would
after
put-
the quarterback.
Me personally, I thought the Jets should have catch Basham.
Terrell Basham, yeah, I thought so too.
Should have kept him.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think he's another guy better with his hand in the ground.
Yeah, I
Then,
would have kept him and let him put his hands in the dirt. That's
Yeah.
where he started before
Yeah.
you moved him to linebacker because someone got hurt.
Well, that whole thing was messed up anyway. They had Greg Williams running a scheme that he doesn't even run. Like, they forced the 3-4 on him. He doesn't run that. He's never run that a day in his life.
Nope.
He never did that with Jeff Fisher. He never did that in New Orleans. He never did that as coach of the Rams.
And if you didn't know, the 4-3 defense is infinitely harder than a 3-4 defense.
It is.
Like,
It is.
Like, the 4-3 defense is so much read, react, and dual responsibility. Where 3-4, typically, hey, that's your job, right? And you just go, right?
Yep.
When somebody fuck up on the 4-3, everybody know who messed up, So you can't take a coach who don't coach that and then expect to teach it to a bunch of guys
That's what I'm
who
saying.
technically don't even play the positions that they need
That's
to
what I'm
play
saying.
to make the 3-4 work. It doesn't work that,
That was
way.
the problem in Dallas. Mike Nolan had a bunch of 4-3 guys running the 3-4. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Didn't make no sense whatsoever. So I don't think the Jets need as much on defense as their
Nah,
fans think they
need
do.
guard help. They need
I think
guards.
they need some offensive line help. Don't think about drafting a running back ever again.
No.
You're not going to do it. Not with this coach. Not with this scheme. What?
You can pick one off the street.
San Francisco has 3 running backs, and none of them were drafted.
Yeah. Pick one
Wayne
off the street.
Gallman is now there. He's the only one that's been drafted.
I'm still not sold on Wade.
I'm not either. I'm
Mr.
not
Giant fan over there was like, Wayne Gallman did this. Look. He's like, yo, why y'all bashing my boy?
I wish we kept him.
Hey, look,
I wish we kept him.
there's nothing wrong with you wanting to keep him. He did some good things for
Yeah.
y'all, but I just don't like. I think that was more of lack of film and knowledge of his system. It wasn't talent you saw translating on the field, in my opinion.
I mean, nah.
He knew his system. Other teams didn't know what he could do, and it looked great until it didn't, because it only take 4 weeks of film. You ever notice that? Like you
Wayne
get some guy
Gallman-
off a bench somewhere, he start doing something. 5th week, it's like, all right, now we're starting to come back down. It only take 4 weeks of film.
Teams have figured out that
That's it.
unless a running back is truly elite with elite talent, traits, and everything, you can get those guys at any point, anywhere. Doesn't matter. You can
Yeah,
get them. You can
but
get them.
He played the backup role last year and the year before that. What happened? Saquon went down last year. He went down the year before. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm pretty sure teams kind of knew kind of how to feel or what type of player Gallman was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's a difference between field and 4 weeks of film. No, I'm serious. like so.
I think circumstances
One-
have a lot to do with it. Too.
I was about to say, well, one of the things besides circumstances, I wasn't gonna say that. One of the things that we forget is that the way you and I get up, take a shower, brush our teeth, get dressed, and go schlep somewhere into work, like football coaches, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's football. You give me 4 game films, and the only thing I got to do all week is figure out how to stop you. I'll stop you too. And that's where you find your elite talent. No matter how much film you watch, that player, a lot of times the elite talent too, is not always just in your legs and your fast twitch muscles. It's understanding what's happening around you and being able to adjust right there on the spot.
Right.
I don't
And
see that from
sometimes-
Wayne
yeah, you're
Gallman.
right. Sometimes you find elite
Yeah.
talent looking at other talent.
That's true too. Yeah. So, and when I say elite talent, I'm not talking like Hall of Fame guys. I'm talking about guys who make a difference in a football game.
Yeah. Right.
I don't care if you had 0 stats all day. You make a difference, right? Because you understood what the situation, what the football situation was, which is situation of football we always talk about, right? Yeah. So when you know that, and then you saw in real time how they adjusted to the last thing you did, and you can adjust again, that puts you in a different category. I don't think Wayne Gallman's there.
never
That's what I
was.
mean. Like
Never
you know,
was.
and you could have that from guys who aren't
He-
very highly touted.
He was in between C.J. Spiller and Etienne, wasn't
Yep.
Yes.
he? Yeah. So I mean, he's neither one of those guys. You know, he's reliable, but he's neither one of those guys. So you know, it's one of those things where he's a dime a dozen at this point.
That's
You know,
how it
for him.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I-
He's
and
a dime a dozen right
I
now.
know that you like him, and he did. No, he came through for your team when you needed something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we talking about talent and fit here. That's what a draft conversation really is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's talent and fit, and then a little bit of value, right? Because sometimes it just don't make sense. Even though that guy fits perfectly, it don't make sense to take him right then and there, right?
Yeah.
So from that perspective, you know, like Wayne Gallman would have a soft spot in the Giants fans' heart. But when you remove your fandom and you look at it, it's like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been feeling the same way about Ben Roethlisberger for the last 3 years. Like we are holding on to what was, and hoping that if we put enough around him, that whatever little bit is left in that tank could be used properly, right?
But I think
And let him
everybody
go out on
feels
top.
like that about
give
players
him
that
the
their
Eli
team
shit,
drafts.
All right, y'all.
That's
We
what
going on,
that's what the Giants try to do.
Oh man, we got to get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Everybody. Steve, thanks for coming through. Briggs, thank you.
We'll be
G,
back.
Draft is tomorrow. We'll see how we match up, man. Peace.
No Mac Jones.
McCorkle.
He said no back Jones.
But that's what the Giants try to do with Eli.